Gentlemen, let's get on with it. The bike day today, we've got a great selection of bikes coming your way, and we're starting with lot number 1 here. Lot number 1 on your screens now. The 1991 Triumph Trophy 900, no reserve, must go today. Who's got £250 to start me off on this one? 250 here to go. Anyone interested at £250 to start? £100 to start then. Surely everyone should be putting their hands up for this kind of money. £100 to start. Anyone interested for £100 here? 100's bid. At 100 is bid online. At 100, 100 is the bid. At 100, 102. At 200 now. At 200, 200, 200 is with you online at the moment. At 200 a bid on the Triumph here. At 200, 203. At 3 is now bid with you online. At 300 we are bid. At 300, 300, 300. I'll take 50s from this point then. If anyone else wants to come back in for another 50. At 300 is bid. At 300, 300, 350. It was in the center of the room first, just before you. At 350. Online, would you like to come back in for 4? At 350 is bid. At 350, 350, 350. Gentleman's bid here in the room is with you already, sir. I won't take it again. At 350's bid. At 350, 350. Are we finished and done then online? Would you like to go for 400's back in the West Midlands with you now, sir? Would you like 450? 450's bid. Straight back in. Thank you, sir. At £450 we're bid. At 450, 450, 450. Online, would you like 5? At £450 we are bid. Are we finished? Are we done? With you already. At £450 for the first time. 500's online. At 500, would you go 50 again? At 500, 550, gentlemen's back in now. At £550 we're bid. At 550, 550, 550. Would anyone else like to come in for 6? At £550 then, we're finished, we're done. Hammers up, away it goes. First lot of the day, selling now in the room at £550, finished and done. Sold with you, sir, £550. What was your paddle number there? 556, thank you. Right then, moving on down we go. Lot number 2 then, lot number 2. We have the 1981 Honda NC50 Express. Another lovely little bike, cool little thing this one. Where are we at? Start me off and away. Who's got £100 to start? £100 to start, surely. Anyone interested for £100? 100, 100, 100. 100 is bid. Thank you online. You're in. At 100 a bid. We'll take 50 now again. At 100, 100 here. On the Honda now. At 100, 100 is the bid. 150 back in. At 150, you're in now online. At 150 is bid. At 150, 150. Next bid's 2 if you're coming back in. And 200 bid. At 200, 200 is with you now online. At £200 is your bid. Would anyone else like to come in for another 50? At 200, 200, 200. At 200, are we finished? Are we done? 250 up top before you online. At 250 is bid. At 250, 250 and 300 now. It goes on back to the internet at 3. At 300, 300, 300. You coming back in for another 50 up top. Shakes the head. At 350 bid. At 350, 350 online bid. 350 and 4. At 400 is bid now. At 400, 400. Would anyone like another 50? At 400, 400. Are we finished? Are we done online? 450. At 450 and 5. At 500, back in now 5. At 500, 500, 500 is your bid at the moment online. At £500, would you like to go 50 again? Last chance. Fair warning. Second lot of the day with you online. Sells this time, make no mistake, at £500. Once, twice. Finished and done, £500. Sold for 500. Online bidder takes it. 500, 17888. Moving on down we go to lot number 3, 2008 Suzuki GSX-R 1000. Lovely looking bike. It's the K8 edition as well. Start me off on this one. Who's got £3,000? 3's bid, thank you. At 3,000 now. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. I'll take 200s on this one. At 3,000 is the bid. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,2. 3,4 back in now. At 3,004. At 3,4, 3,4, 3,4. At 3,400 we're bid. Would anyone else like to come in for 3,6? At 3,006 is online. At 3,006, 3,8 back in. At 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800 coming in for 4. At 3,008. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,800, fours back in online, thank you. At £4,000. At 4,000, 4,000, next bid's 2. At 4,2. At 4,2 bid. At 4,002, next bid coming in one more. At 4,002 is bid. At 4,2, 4,2, 4,2. At 4,200, 4,4 back in online. 4,4. At 4,004. At 4,400 with the online bidder at the moment. At 4,000, 4,004, are we finished and done? 4,6. At 4,006. At 4,000, 4,600 is the bid now, 4,6. At 4,600, it's against you online. You coming back in? Yes, you are. Thank you very much. At 4,008. At 4,000, 4,800 is the bid online. At 4,000, 4,008. Are we finished and done here at 4,800 is the bid at the moment. It's in Warrington. Local money now at 4,008. At 4,000, 4,800 a bid now. 4,008 is bid. Are we finished? Are we done? Last chance in fair warning online. At £4,800, make no mistake, the bid is online at 4,800, finished and done. Last chance in fair warning then at £4,800. Provisionally with you online, 17937. 4,800 provisional. We will make that call online and we will be in touch as soon as possible there. Moving on, we go to lot number 4 this time, 1999 Ducati 900 SS, final edition, lovely bike, straight in with me at 4.2, 4.4. 4,6 we start at 4,006, 4,008. At 4,800 is the bid now at 4,008. At 4,000, 4,800 we're bid. 5 if you're coming in. At 4,000, 4,800 the bid now, 4,008 is bid. At 4,8, 4,8, 4,8. Would anyone else like to come in now? At 4,800 a bid. At 4,8, 4,8 bid. At 4,800 the bid now, 4,8 is bid in 5. At 5,000 now. With you in the West Midlands, welcome. You're in at £5,000. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000 is bid. At 5,000 the bid now, 5,000 online. 5,2 if you're coming in. 5,2, thank you. At 5,002. At 5,200 is bid. At 5,2, 5,2, 5,2. At 5,200 a bid now, 5,2. Online, are you coming back in for 5,4? 5,4 you are. At 5,004. At 5,4, 5,4, 5,4, online bid. At 5,004, take 5,6 if anyone else wants to bid now. At £5,400, the bid online. At 5,4, are we finished here? At 5,004. At 5,400 a bid, finished and done. Last chance online. We go once, we go twice, finished and done at £5,400. Provisionally with you online, 12, 20, 40, and that was £5,400 provisional. Moving on to lot number 5, we go next then. Lot number 5 is the 1975 Honda. It's the CB750. Lovely, lovely looking bike. Great colouring on this one. I've got several bids on the book. We're going to start straight with me. Going to go 2, 2.5, 3,000, 3,2. At 3,002 we start. At 3,000, 3,002 is bid. At £3,200. At 3,2, 3,2, 3,2. Would anyone else like 3,4 now? At 3,004. At 3,004, 3,6 with my commission bidder. At 3,006. At 3,000, 3,600 is the bid now. At 3,006, would anyone else like 3,8? On the book with me then. At £3,600, we are bid. At 3,006. At 3,000, 3,600, are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance in fair warning. 3,8 bid now. New bidder online in the West Midlands at 3,800 is your bid. At 3,000, 3,800 pounds online bidding at 3,008. At 3,000, 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800 with the online bidder now at 3,008. 4,000, one more. You're thinking about it. You're hovering at home. Would you like to come in? At 3,800 a bid then once. At 3,000, 3,004. At 4,000 it goes on now. At £4,000 is bid. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. At 4,000, 4,000 underbidder. You coming back for another 2. At £4,000 is the bid at the moment. In Cheshire again. At 4,000 the bid. West Midlands bidder. Would you like to go one more? It's your chance if you're coming back in. At 4,000, 4,000 for the first time then at 4. At 4,000, 4,000 finished and done. Last chance. Fair warning. £4,000 once. 4,000 twice. Finished and done 4,000. We'll submit that bid there at 4,000, 17, 70, 84. £4,000 provisional. Moving on down we go to lot number 6 then. Lot number 6, 2002 Honda this time. It's the ST1300. It's the pan-European big bike, this one there. No reserve, must go today. You're in at 2. I'm going to run it off with me. I've got several bids. I'm going to go 2, 4, 6, 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,400 pounds. We start now at 1,400 here. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 is bid. 16 now, 18 back to me. 18, 18. I'll have to take 19 next if we can, Will. At 1,800 a bid. At 1,800, 1,800, 1,900, 2,000 now. At 2,000 coming in for one more. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. At 2,000, 2,000 underbidder. Would you like to go again? I'll take the 100, I will. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. 2-1. My commission bidder's out now. It's with you in Dorset at 2,100. It's going to sell today. Would anyone else like 2-2? At 2,001. At 2,000, 2,100 is the bid. At 2,100 for the first time then. At 2,100. 2-2. Thank you. Seated. At 2,002. At 2,200. Gentleman's bid now. At 2,200 pounds we are bid. Online, would you like to go 2-3? In Dorset, if you're coming back in, make it nice and quick. At 2,002. At 2,003. At 2,300 a bid. And 2-4, thank you, sir. At 2-4, 2-4, 2-4, your bid now. Gentleman's bid here at 2,004. 2-5 again. At 2,005, online's back in. At 2,005. At 2,005, would you like 2-6, sir? At 2,005. At 2,005. I'll take a 50 if it helps you. At 2,550, thank you again. At 2,550's bid. At 2,550 pounds, gentleman's bid. Online, would you like 2-6? At 2,550 once. 2-6. 2,650 back in. At 2,650 again. At 2,650 to bid now. 2,650 is bid. At 2,650 pounds, are we finished? Are we done? Hammers up and away it goes. Gentleman's bid then at 2,650 pounds. Finished and done. Sold with you, sir. 557. Thank you very much. Right then, moving on to lot number 7, we go down to then lot number 7. Have a good look at this one. Cool little bike. This is 1975. It's the Yamaha TY80. Lovely one there. Great colouring, great details on this one as well. Start me off. We got several commission bids. I'm going to go 400, 500, and 600 pounds and 50. Okay, at 650, you're in online already. My commission bidder's done. At 650, your bid. At 650, 650, 650. At 650 pounds, 7. At 700, 700, 700, 750. Bid again. At 750, 750, the bid's online. At 750 pounds is with you. 800 now. At 800 pound a bid. 850 back in. At 850, 850 it goes on. At 850 pounds, the bid is here online. At 850, would anyone else like 900 now? At 850, the bid then once. 9. 950. 950. At 950 the bid. Online bid. I believe we have a telephone on this one as well. At 950 is bid. At 950, the telephone's out. It's with you online. Would anyone else like to come in now then? At 950 pounds the bid. Once. At 950 pounds the bid then twice. Finished, done, sells away. Online at 950 pounds it goes. Sold 950, 17,887. $17,887, yes. Moving on down to lot number 8, this time 1998 Ducati there. Look at that one, in the red as well. Lovely looking bike this is then, a beautiful one. Super low miles on it as well. 8,685 there as well. Look at that, bidding's going off already online. I'm going to start with your bid at 2,000, 2,2, 2,4's bid now at 2,004. At 2,000, 2,400 is bid. At 2,4, 2,6, 2,8 again. At 2,008. At 2,8 bid. At 2,000, 2,008. At 2,800 is the bid now at 2,008 and 3. My bidder's out now. It's with you online at 3,000. Welcome in Ireland is with you at 3,000 at the moment. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At £3,000 is the bid in Ireland. Would anyone else like to come in? 3-2. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. For a Ducati at just 3,000 in 2 bid. At 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. At 3,200 is the bid now at 3,002. At 3,000, 3,200 we are bid. At 3,200, I'll tell you what, I'll take hundreds from this point then. At 3,002, online bid at the moment. Would anyone else like to come in for 3-3? You're thinking about it online. 3-3 bid. Thank you again. At 3,003. At 3,000, 3,300, we're bid now at 3,003. At 3,300, the bid now 3,003. Anyone else coming in? At 3,300, then once. At 3,300, then twice. Last chance. finished and done at £3,300. We'll submit the bid to the vendor there at £3,300. Thank you very much. Online bidder 12240. Provisional. Moving on to lot number 9. Lot number 9 here. Ducati again, second Ducati here. Another lovely Ducati, 2008. It's the 1098, one owner, road registered track bike. Look at the livery on this one. Absolutely looks great, it does. You're in at 2,000. I'm going to go 2.2, 2.4. At 2004 is my bid. 2.6 if you want to come in online. At 2004, 2.6, 2.8 back to me. At 2008, at 2008, and 3,000 bid. 3.2 again. At 3,002. At 3,000, 3,200 were bid. At 3.2, 3.2, 3.2. At 3.2, 3.4. At 3.4, I'm going to have to go 3.6, 3.8. I'll take 4 if you're coming in. At 3,800, my bidder at the minute. At 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800, would you like to come in for 4? At 3,000, 3,008, 400. You'll be glad to know online, my bidder's out and you're in. At 4,000 a bid. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. I'll take hundreds from this point if anyone is interested. And coming in now, at £4,000, we are bid in Surrey. At 4,000 is bid. On the Ducati at 4,000. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, I'll take 1 if anyone's coming in. You're thinking about it online. Don't miss out. Stunning bike. It's going to go at 4. At 4,1. At 4,001. At 4,100 is bid. At 4,1, 4,1, 4,1. Underbidder. Would you like to go 4,002? Now's your chance if you do. At 4,100, it's in the West Midlands. Surrey, you coming back for one more. At 4,001. At 4,100, 4,001. It's your last chance in fair warning then. At 4,100 for the first time. At 4,100 for the second time. We're finished in up 4-2 just in time. Dramatic ending now. 4-2's bid back in. Surrey bidder, you're in at 4-2. At 4,002. At 4,000, 4,200. At 4,200 in the West Midlands. Would you like to go again at 4-3? At 4,002. At 4,200, then we go once. At 4,200, then we go twice. Make no mistake, online bidder at £4,200. Finished and done at 4,200. Provisionally, only just. I'm sure we'll get a deal done for you on that one at £4,200. To bidder number, just missed the bidder number there. It was 17936. 17936. Provisional bid at £4,200. We're going to go to lot number 10, 1977 MV Augusta. And what a better person to introduce this than Steve Berry.
Thanks, Tom. Yeah, the 350 Ipotesi. 2 years on the trot, I won the Latin prize at the grammar school. Yes, I'm old enough to have done Latin at school. Ipotesi, hypothesis or an idea. And the idea came from the legendary car designer, possibly the greatest car designer of all time. I have met him, Giorgetto Giugiaro. Well, that's how I'm pronouncing it, like a native of Bury. He said, I want all these angular lines. I want the angular lines there on the casings. I want the whole bike to look different to any other motorcycle that's came before. Tubular steel frame, 350cc engine. This one benefits from a double disc brake Brembo conversion on the front. They didn't all have these when they were new. They weren't painted to this standard by Dream Machine. In other words, restored way better than it was brand new. At vast eye-watering expense. And we reckon today it might sell for between £4,000 and £4,500. A steal, Tom.
A steal it is, and I've got a couple of commission bids, which is definitely a steal. Minute 2,000, 2.2, 2.4, and 2.6 is bid. At 2006 we start. At 2,000, 2,600 is the bid now at 2006. At 2,600 a bid now 2006. At 2.6, 2.6, 2.6. At 2,600, would anyone like 2.8 here? At 2,600 the bid. At 2.6, 2.6 is bid. At 2,600 a bid now 2006. At 2,600 we are bid. At 2,000, 2,608. At 2,800 you're in online. At 2,008 back to me now at 3,000. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At 3,000 a bid. At 3,000, would you like to go 2 again online? At 3,000 a bid now 3,000. I'll take hundreds from this point then. At £3,000, if you're coming in, for 3,1 will be your next bid. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At £3,000 we are bid at the moment. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. 3-1 back in. At 3,001, my bidder's out. You're in online. At 3,100, we're bid. At 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. At 3,100 here on the MV Augusta then. At 3,100, are we finished? Are we done? At 3,001. At 3,000, 3,100. Would anyone else like to come in for 3-2? At 3,100 for the first time then at 3,001. At 3,000, 3,100 for the second time then with the online bidder now. At 3,100, finished and done. It's your last chance on this one. And fair warning then at 3,100. Make no mistake, finished and done at 3,001. We'll submit that bid there online at 3,001, 1780.07. Moving on we go to lot number 11 in the sale. The 1976, it's the Triumph TR7, the Tiger there. Matching numbers example as well. Lovely looking bike, this one. 20,000 miles on the clock then. We're going to go straight in with me at 2,000, 2.2, 2.4, 2.6 is bid, 2.8, and 3,000 now. Commission bidder is in at £3,000 we start. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 2. At 3,200 a bit now, 3,004 back to me. At 3,004. At 3,400 we're bid. At 3,4, 3,4, 3,4. At 3,400, 3,6, 3,8. At 3,008. At 3,800 my commission bidder and on outright sale. So make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna sell today. At 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800, I'll take 3,900 if anyone wants to join the party now. At 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800, are we finished and done here then at 3,008? At 3,800 for the first time. At 3,800 for the second time. My commission bidder selling away at £3,800. Make no mistake, finished and done, it sells. Sold at 3,800. Commission bidder, £3,800. Sold away to bidder number 3011. Moving on to lot number 12 then. Lot number 12, 2007 in the year. Kawasaki there. Look at this one. Ninja, super condition, low mileage example. Looks absolutely amazing in the black. A mean machine it is. Starting away, commission bids in at £2,000. 2.2. At 2.2, I'll take 2.4 next. At 2,002, on the Ninja here. At 2,000, 2,200, we're bid. At 2,002. At 2,000, 2,200 is the bid now at 2,002. At 2,000, 2,200, anyone coming in for 2.4? At 2,200, we are bid. And 2.4. 2.6 back to me. At 2,600, 2.8 if you're coming back in now. At 2,000, 2,600 is the bid. Commission bidder has it at the moment. At 2,600 is bid. At 2,000, 2,006. At 2,600, I'll tell you what, I'll take 2.7 if anyone wants to join in now. At 2,600, we're bid. And 2.7 online has it now at 2,007. My bidder's out, you're in online. At 2,700 is the online bid. It's with you in Merseyside. At £2,700, we are bid. At 2,727. At £2,700, are we finished and done then? On the Ninja, £2,700. Make no mistake here. At 2,700, we go once. At 2,708. At 2,008 back in. At 2,800 West Yorkshire bidder, you're in. At 2,008. At 2,000, 2,800 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,008. Would anyone else like 2.9 now? At 2,000, 2,008. At 2,000, 2,800, are we finished? 2.9. 2.9's back in. Merseyside bidder, you're in at 2,009. At 2,009. At 2,900 a bit now, 2,009 is bid. Would anyone else like to come in for 3,000? Make no mistake here, underbidder. If you'd like to bid, bid again. At 2,900 once. At 2,900 twice. Finished and done then. Last chance in 3 bid. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At 3,000, would you like to go one again now? At £3,000, it's your turn, Merseyside. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At £3,000 a bid. And one back in now, 3-1, Merseyside, you do it. Thank you again. At 3,001. At 3,000, 3,100 a bid. At 3,100, are we finished? Are we done at 3-1? At 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. You're hovering at home. Would you like to bid one more? At 3,100. I'll tell you what, if this sharpens your pencil, it's on outright sale at 3,100 for the first time, then at 3-1. And selling, so make no mistake, underbidder now at 3,100 twice. Finished and done in 3-2 bid at 3,002. You're back in now at 3,000, 3,002. At 3,200, we are bid at 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. At 3,200. Would you like to go one more online? You've come this far in Merseyside. Don't let them beat you now. At 3,200 once. At 3,200 then twice. And selling online. And 3-3 back in, sneaking in like a ninja at 3,003. At 3,300 we are bid. At 3-3, 3-3, 3-3. At 3,300 it goes on. It's gonna sell today, so make no mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, hammers up and away it goes this time at 3,300 once, twice, finished and done, and it sells £3,300 to the Merseyside bidder. Sold 3,300, 17923. Right then, moving on to lot number 13. Lot number 13 of the sale, 1975 Yamaha XS650 there, in the yellow livery as well. Looks like a great looking bike. Flat tracker, full of rebuild, 2 flat tracker as well. Let's start with my commission bidders here. I'm going to go 1,000, 12, 1,400, a 14, 16's bid, 18's back to me. 1,800, at 1,800, 1,800. At 1,800, my bidder now. At £1,800, we are bid. At 1,800, 1,800. Would you like to come in two? Two you do. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,000 online bid has it at the minute at £2,000. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Would anyone like to come in for another two? At £2,000 is bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. 2-2, thank you. At 2,002. Online, would you like to go 2-4? At 2,002. At 2,000, 2,200 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,002. At 2,200, I'll take 2-4 if anyone's thinking about coming in now. At 2,002. At 2,000, 2,200, are we finished? Are we done on this one at 2,002? Make no mistake then, at £2,200, are we finished? Are we done? Last chance then at £2,200. We'll submit the bid there. Number 70, paddle 70, £2,000. Provisional. Moving on we go to lot number 14's up next. Lot number 14, 1973 Honda CB175. Matching numbers on this one. Great livery again. Look at the paintwork on that. Looks absolutely glorious. Bidding's going away online. You're in at 1,008 and 2,000's bid. At 2,000, 2,002. 2-2 bid. 2-2 to bid now. 2,002 online. At 2,002. At 2,000, 2,200, we are bid at the minute. Online bidder, you're in. At 2,002. We'll say 2-3 if you want to come back in. At 2,002. At 2-3 bid. At 2,003. Welcoming Gloucestershire. It's with you at the minute. At 2,003 is your bid. At 2,003, 2-4 is against you now. At 2,000, 2,004, 2-5. At 2,000, 2,005. At 2,500 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,005. Would you like to go 2-6 online? You're thinking about it. Now's your chance. 2-6, thank you. At 2,006. At 2,000, 2,600 is the bid here at 2,006. Would anyone in the room like to come in for 2-7? Now's your chance. At 2,000, 2,600 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,600, are we finished and done then online? Would you like to go again? 2-7. 2-7, welcome Ireland, you're in. 2-8, not for long. At 2,008. At 2,800 is the bid now at 2,008. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,800, your bid in Lincolnshire. At 2,008, would you like to come in one more 2-9? You're thinking about it now. At 2,000, 2,008. At 2,800, are we finished and done here then? At 2,800, make no mistake, 2-9's your next bid if you want to go one more. At 2,800 for the first time. At 2,800 for the second time, we're finished and done. Last chance, fair warning then, at £2,800. We'll submit that bid with you, bidder number 12329. 2,800 provisional. Moving on to lot number 15 this time then. Lot number 15 in the sale is this lovely, lovely looking 1951 BSA B34 competition bike there. Family owned from new as well. Look at that. Looks amazing this one does. And I'm going to go straight in at 2,200. 2-2. At 2002. At 2,200 we start. At 2,000, 2002. At 2,000, 2,200 is the bid now at 2002 with my commission bidder on the book. At 2002. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,200 is the bid now at 2002. I'll take 2-4 if anyone wants to come in. At 2,000, 2002. At 2,200 is the bid now at 2002. Are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance in fair warning then. At 2,200, make no mistake, we're finished and done on this lot at £2,200. My commission bidder there at £2,200. It's to bidder number 3008. If you left that bid, we will be in touch as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Moving on to lot number 16 then. Lot number 16, 1958, AGS, 16C, very rare, competition trials bike. Where are we starting with this one? Who's got £2,000 to start? Who's got £1,500 to start me off on this trials bike here? £1,500, surely. Have a good look at this one. 1,500, online bid. At 1,500, 1,500, you're in for the bargain online. At £1,500, we are bid now at 1,500. At 1,500, 1,500. At 1,500, 1,500, online bid is with you at £1,500. At 1,500, 1,500. At 1,500 now. At 1,500, 1,500, are we finished and done? Just a maiden bid online at the minute. At 16, sir? 16 bid. Gentleman's bid on the floor now at 1,600 online. Would you like to go 17? At 1,600, 1,600. At 1,600, are you coming back in now? Gentleman's bid at £1,600. Are we finished? Are we done? We will submit the bid, so make no mistake. Gentleman's bid at £1,600. If we're finished and done, it's your last chance and fair warning then at just £1,600. Submit that bid for you, sir. 1,600 to 558. Moving on to lot number 17 then. Lot number 17. 2002 Ducati 900 SS Senna Tribute then. Where are we at with this one? No bids on my book on this one, unfortunately. So who's going to start me off? Who's got £2,000 to start? Ducati 900. Anyone interested at 2,000? It's £1,500 to start me off on this one. 1,500 surely. Look how great it looks in the grey with the red wheels there. Surely worth £1,500 of anyone's money. 1,500 you're in. Thank you online. At 1,500 now. At 1,500, 1,500 is the bid. At 1,500, 1,500 online bid. At 15 bid. At 1,500 is the bid now at 15. 1,600, thank you. At 1,600 coming in now 17. At 1,600, 1,600. At 1,600 here. Cheap Ducati this is at just £1,600, make no mistake. At 16 and 17 back in. At 1,700, 1,700. At 1,700, 1,700. Would you go 18? 18, thank you. 1,800 back in. At 1,800 is bid. At 1,800, 1,800. At 1,800 a bid now, 1,800's bid. Online, would you like to come in for one more? 19 if you do, 19 bid. At 1,900 now. At 1,900, 1,900. Next bid's 2,000. At 1,900 is the bid. At 1,900, 1,900. At 1,900, are we finished and done here? At £1,900, make no mistake, in two bid back in two. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. At £2,000, the bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. I'll stay in these hundreds for you online. If you want to go again, at £2,000 the bid. Would you like to come in? 2-1. 2-1 you do. Thank you, online bidder. At 2,001 is with you now. At 2,000, 2,001. At 2,100 a bid. At 2,000, 2,001. Are you coming back in for 2-2? Last chance online. At 2,001, 2-2. 2-2 back in. At 2,200, we are bid now. At 2,200 with our West Midlands bidder at the minute. It's with you at 2,002. Would anyone like 2-3? At 2,000, 2,002. At 2,200, are we finished and done here? At £2,200, make no mistake, then online underbidder. At 2,200 for the first time. At 2,200 and 2-3 bid. Back in, just in time online. At 2,003, your bid. At 2,000, 2,003. At 2,000, 2,300 is the bid now at 2,004. At 2,000, 2,004, nice fast bidding there online, thank you. At 2,004. At 2,000, 2,400 is the bid now at 2,004. Underbidder, would you like to go 2-5? At 2,004. At 2,000, 2,400 in the bid. At 2,400. Are we finished? Are we done? At £2,400 once online. Twice. Finished and done then at £2,400. Submit that bid. 12,240. 12,240. Your bid at 2,400 provisional. Moving on down we go, this time lot number 18, there we go, 1968 Lambretta there, cool looking Lambretta this one is, it's the SX150. Look at that scooter there, looks in great nick it does. Starting off then with me at 1,500, 1,600, 1,700, 18 is bid now at £1,800 we are bid. At 1,800, 1,800, I'll take 2,000 if you're coming in. At 1,800 on the Lambretta here, at 1,800, 1,800. At 1,800, 1,800 is the bid now at 18. At 1,800, 1,800. Would you like 2,000 to come in for one more? At 1,800 a bid. At 1,800, 1,800 here. At 1,800, 1,800 finished and done on this one. At £1,800. Make no mistake, would anyone like to come in for two? Last chance online. See you hovering at home. Would you like to bid? Give you that count. 2,000. My bidder's out. You're in now. At 2,000 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. At £2,000 is the bid now at 2. At 2,000, 2,000, would anyone else like to come in for 2-2? At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. 2-2 bid. At 2,002. At 2,000, 2,200 is the bid now at 2,002. At 2,000, 2,200 we're bid. Underbidder, would you like to go 2-4 on this one? At 2,200 is the bid now at 2,002. Finished and done in last chance in fair warning then. The bid's with you in Wrexham at 2,200 for the first time. 2,200 for the second time. Finished and done. The online bid has it at £2,200. Make no mistake, 2,002. Provisionally with you online at 2,002, and that is to 17070. Right then, moving on to lot number 19's up next. Lot number 19, 1984. It's the Yamaha XV1000 HDR Vincent Evocation. Superb modern take on an iconic classic. Look at that. Looks great, this one really does. Going to start with my bid here at just £1,000. I'll take 1-2 next. At £1,000 is bid. At 1,000 bid. At 1,000, 1-2's bid. My bidder's out already. You're in at 1,002. At 1,000, 1,002. Gentleman's bid seated. I'll take 1-4 if anyone wants to join in now. At 1,000, 1,002. At 1,200 a bid. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. At 1,200 is the bid at the minute. At £1,200. I'll take 1,300 if anyone else is interested. At £1,200, I will submit the bid seated then. At £1,200, make no mistake. Are we finished and done here? Last chance in fair warning. At £1,200, submit it your way, 577, 577. Moving on to lot number 20, the 1978 Suzuki GT250, and over to Stephen Berry.
Tom, they're all at it now. What's that you say? Middleweight motorcycles, the major manufacturers have finally recognised that not everybody wants a 1,300cc bike that weighs 750 pounds dry. Why not, though, have one of the originals? This is a Suzuki GT250. They made this bike between 71 and 81. Two-stroke twin. This is a particularly good example. The clocks on it go up to 150 miles an hour. What this motorbike doesn't do is go up to 150 miles an hour unless you threw it out of a helicopter, which you really shouldn't do, so don't do that. It is a credit to the previous owner. It's in superb condition throughout. Get on board with the middleweight bike craze, but don't pay new prices, and instead put your hand in your pocket and pull out considerably less money to buy this one today.
Yes, it's a lovely bike. Bid's been going crazy on this one online already. They're up to £2,000 on the online bid. I'm in 2-2, 2-4, 2-6 is bid. At 2,006. At 2,000, 2,006 is the start. At 2,000, 2,600 is the bid now at 2,006. At 2,000, 2,600 we are bid. At 2,006. I'll take 2.7 if it helps. At 2006, 2.7, 2.7 bid just behind. 2.8 bid. At 2008, 2 telephones now. At 2008, 2.9. At 2009. At 2009. 2 telephone bidders at the minute. 3,000 bid. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. On outright sale. At 3,000 is the bid. At 3,000, 3,000. I'll take one from anyone online or anyone in the room. At 3,000 is bid. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. Are we finished and done then? At £3,000. Last chance. Fair warning. It sells on the telephone. Make no mistake. Once, free one just in. At 3,001. Lancashire bidder leaving it late. At 3,001. 3-2. Telephone's back in. With Nick's bidder now at 3,200 on the telephone. Online, would you like to go 3-3? At 3,002. At 3,200, hammers up, make no mistake. Once, twice, finished and done, sold your way at £3,200. 2006, £3,200 sold away. Moving on down through the sale, we get to lot number 21. Have a look here. It's the 2011 BMW. It's the F800 GS, loaded with extras there. Looks like a comfy bike to ride. Many miles can be done on these. Starting away, my bidder now, 1,800, 2,000, 2-2 bid. At 2,200 he stops. At 2,002. At 2,000, 2,200 is the bid now at 2,002. At 2,2, 2,2, 2,2. At 2,200, would you like 2.4 online? At 2,002. At 2,000, 2,200 is the bid now at 2,002. At 2,2, 2,2, 2,2. Great bike for little money this at just £2,200. At 2,200, hammers up and away it goes at 2.4. My bidder's out. You're in online at 2004. It's your bid at the minute at 2,400, 2.6 new bidder. At 2,000, 2006. At 2,000, 2,600 is the bid. I'll tell you what, we'll take 2.7. We'll be nice for you today. At 2006, I'll take 2.7 if the underbidder wants to come back in. Would you like that small bite? At 2006. At 2006. At 2,000, 2,600 is the bid. I'll tell you what, we're going to put it on sale at £2,600. It's going to be sold 2.7. 2.7's bid. At 2007. At 2,700 is the online bid with you. On sale, so make no mistake from this point, it's gonna go. At 2007 for the first time, then at 2,700 is selling. At 2,700 and 2.8 back in now, 2008. At 2,000, 2,800, your bid now at 2008. At 2.8, 2.8 bid. At 2,800, are we finished and done here at 2008? Underbidder, would you like to go 2.9? Make it nice and quick if you do. At 2,800 is the bid. Once then. At 2,800 and twice. Finished, done, sells away, this time at £2,800, finished and done. Sold 2008. And that was 27288. Thank you very much, online bidder. That is yours. Moving on down we go. Next one in and away is lot number 22. It's the 2003, the Kawasaki ex-Ryan Farquhar team as well. Stunning bike. Look at the race livery on this one as well. So much character, so much to talk about this one as well. Look how beautiful it looks. Amazing bike. Actual race team as well. Not surprised, I've got a commission bid here, and I'm going to start with it at 15, 16, 18, £2,000 we start. At £2,000 the bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. At 2,000 is my commission bid now at £2,000. Would anyone like 2.2? Have a good look through this one, all the information that comes with it. At 2002, race built and tuned as well. It was the NW200 winning and TT fastest lap bike as well. Look at that bit of history you're getting with this bike at just £2,000. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Are we finished and done? Would anyone like 2.2? At £2,000 is the bid. 2.2, gentleman's bid just before you, Will. I seen his hand and then I heard the ding. Took your bid there. I'll take 2.3 online if that sharpens your pencils. Want to come in? At 2002 is the gentleman's bid here. Just before you, 2.3, they're back in. At 2003. At 2,000, 2003, I'll take 2,400 if you want to go again. At 2,400, thank you, sir. Nodding away. At 2,400 is the gentleman's bid here at 2,004. At 2,000, 2,400 is the bid. Would you like 2,500 online? You're thinking about it. Now's your chance. At 2,400, are we finished? Are we done? At 2,000, 2,400, 2,500. Back in 2,500. At 2,500 online. At 2,000, 2,005. At 2,500 is the bid now at 2,005. It looks great. At 2,005, would you like 2,600? At 2,005. Online bid at 2,500. Are we finished and done here then? At 2,500, 2,500, 2,500. At 2,500. How about 2,550, sir? Coming back in for a small bite. 2,550 bid. At 2,550 is bid. 2,600 if you want to go again now online. 2,600, they're straight back in. Would you go 50 again? Shakes the head. It's with you at the minute online. At 2,600 is the online bid here. In Surrey again, it's with you at £2,600 for the race bike then. At 2,600, are we finished? Are we done? Last chance. Fair warning. Hammers up at £2,600. Make no mistake. Finished and done at 2,600. Provisionally online at 2,006, and that's 17936. Just a slight example of how the provisional bidding system works. Our first one is in of the day. Lot number 10, the MV Augusta 350 there. Sold away for £3,250. That is now gone there. So ladies and gentlemen, please do bid with confidence today. We do get them over the line. And we're going to move down to lot number 23. Lot number 23, 1958 Norton Dominator there. It's the 88 edition as well. Lovely, complete running example of a bike. Looks great to me. I'm going to start off 1,000, 12, 1,400 is bid. At 1,400 now. At 1,400, 1,400 is the bid now. 1,400 is bid. At 1,400, 1,400. Would anyone like 16 from this point? At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 on the Norton Dominator now. At 1,400, 1,400. At £1,400 is bid. At 1,400, 1,400. 16's in now, 16. At 1,600 a bid. At 1,600, 1,600. Online bid now at 16. I'll take 17 if anyone else is bidding. My commission bidder's done. At 1,600 is with you online. At 1,600, 1,600. Online bid. I'll take 17 if anyone wants to come in now. At 1,600, are we finished and done here? At £1,600, make no mistake. At £1,600 is your last chance in fair warning then. At £1,600, are we finished? Are we done? At 1,600 once. At 1,600 twice. Finished and done 1,600. We'll submit the bid there for you. 1,600, 17171. Moving on down we go, this time to lot number 24, 1975 Honda GL 1000 Goldwing. High-speed tourer there, the original as well, starting away. Who's on the Goldwing? Who's got £1,500 to start? Surely, £1,500 for the Goldwing. £1,500 to start me off today. How about £1,000 then? £1,000 to start. It's got to be, hasn't it? £1,000 to get it going, thousands bid. I'll take 1,200 now. At 1,000, thousands bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,200, thank you. At 1,200 is the bid. At 1,200, 1,200 a bid now. 1,200 is bid. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. Would you like 14 online? You're thinking about it now. At 1,200 is the bid now. 12. At 1,200, 1,200 is bid. At 1,200, 1,200, are we finished and done here? At just £1,200, 14 back in. At 14, 14 bid. At 1,400, I'll take 16 now. At 1,400, 16, 16's bid. Thank you again. At £1,600. At 1,600, 1,600. At 1,600 is the bid. At 1,600, 1,600. I'll take 17 now from this point if you're thinking about it online. Would you like to go 17? Finished and done? 17 bid. At 1,700. My bidder's out at £1,700. At 1,700, 1,700, I'll take 18 now. At 1,700 is the bid. At 1,700, 1,700, are we finished and done here then? At £1,700, make no mistake, we'll submit the bid to the vendor at 1,700 once, twice. Finished and done at £1,700. Submit that bid there for you, 9620. And the next update that we've just got come in, lot number 14, Honda CB175, sold away, £3,000. There we go. Lot number 25's up next. Lot number 25 is the 1947 Douglas T35, offered from a Douglas collector as well, so it's been very well looked after, this one. Starting away, 1,000, 1,200, 1,400's bid. At 1,400 now. At 1,400, we start. At 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400, would you like 16? At 1,400. At £1,400 is bid here at 1,400. At 1,400, 14. At 1,400, are we finished and done then at just £1,400? At 14, I'll take 15 if you're nice and quick under bidder there. At £1,400. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400, are we finished and done this time then at 1,400? Make no mistake, last chance and fair warning then at £1,400. Hammers up, £1,400, finished and done 1,400. We'll make that call for you online, 1063, sorry. Moving on to lot number 26 is up next. Another Lambretta here. It's the J125 Super Starstream. 125 engine on this one. Small frame, looks great again. Lovely Lambretta. 1969 in the year. Starting away. Where are we up to? Who's got, I don't know, £1,500 to start? Who's got £1,500 to start on this one? No bids on my book for this one. Start me off, £1,500. Anyone interested at 1,500? How about £1,000 to start then? £1,000 surely. Lovely Lambretta here. Just £1,000 to start it off today. Thank you online, you're in. At £1,000. Bristol bidder, welcome with you at £1,000. At 1,000, 1,000 is the bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. I'll take 1,200 now. At £1,000 is bid at the minute. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. At 1,000, are we finished and done? 1,200, I see you, thank you. At £1,200 is bid. At 1,200, 1,200 is the bid now at 12. At 1,200, 1,200 bid. 14 back in, new bidder there. At 1,400, Cheshire bidder now. At 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400. At £1,400. I'll take 16 if you're nice and quick under bidder, or anyone else. 16, thank you, 1,600. Would you like to go 18 online? At 1,600 is bid. At 1,600, 1,600. At 1,600, are we finished and done here? At £1,600, make no mistake then, finished and done. It's your last chance and fair warning. At 1,600 once. At 1,600 twice. Finished and done then at 1,600. We'll submit that bid for you there online. At 1,600, that's 1047. Again, thank you very much, online bidder. Submit that bid. Moving on to lot number 27's up next. Lot number 27, 2010. It's the Honda VFR 1200 FD there. Lovely bike again. Who's got £1,000 to start? Surely £1,000 on the Honda? Big bike, this one. £1,000 surely. Thousands bid. Thank you online. Ireland's in at £1,000. We are bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. I'll take 1,200 now. At £1,000 is bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,200 up top, I see you. At 1,200 a bid. At 1,200, 1,200 a bid. At 1,200, 1,200, gentleman's bid now at 12. At 1,200, 1,200, Ireland, would you like to go 14 on this one? At 1,200 is bid. 1,400 back in. At 1,400, new bidder in fact, at 1,400. At 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400. I'll take 16 if you're coming back in, either bidder. At 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 is the bid now online at 14. At 1,400, are we finished and done then? At 1,416 back in now, 16. At 1,600 in the West Midlands. I have 5 different bidders on this bike already. At 1,600 is bid. At 1,600, 1,600. I'll tell you what, we'll go 17 next if you make it nice and quick for me online. At 16 and 17 now. At 1,700 and 17 bid. At 1,700, Dorset bidder, you're in. At 18 coming in. Thinking about it. So at 1,700, would you like to go 18 bid? 1,800 is the bid. At 1,800, 1,800. At 1,800 is bid now at 18. 19 back in. At 1,900, 1,900. At 1,900, 1,900. Would anyone else like to come in for £2,000? At 1,900, are we finished? Are we done? Last chance and fair warning then online. I can see you hovering, make it nice and quick and 2 bid, thank you. At 2,000 back in. At 2,000, 2,000 is the bid. I'll say in these ones for you online. At £2,000. At 2,000, 2,000 is the bid now at 2,000. At 2,000, 2,000 are we finished and done? The hammer's up. At 2,000, make no mistake. At 2,000, 2,1. At 2,100 is bid. Back in now at 2,001. At 2,1, 2,1, 2,1. Underbidder, would you like to go 2,2? At 2,100 is the bid online with you. Endorse it. At 2,100, hammers up. At 2,000, 2,100 for the first time then. At 2,100, are we finished? Are we done? For the second time, at £2,100. Make no mistake, finished and done at £2,100. Provisionally with you online at 2001 17782. 17782. Provisional, only just though online. I'm sure we'll get a deal done on that one for you. We'll be in touch very shortly. Next one up and away then is the 1980. It's the Moto Marini 3.5 Sport, this one. Got several bids on this one on my book. You got a few bids there. Oh, it's sold already. That's why it's saying that. Sorry there, it's sold away. We will move on to the next one. That's already sold away. I don't have the price for that, but I'm sure it will be in the Monday's sale results. Right then, lot number 29 then, it's 1973. It's the Moto Guzzi again, the Falcon X military bike. Look at that, that's a cool looking bike. It definitely took my eye when I walked in here yesterday. Got a lot of patina about it, a lot of character about it, this one. Start me off, who's got just £1,000 to start? Surely, £1,000 to start me off today. £1,000. Thank you online, £1,000, you're in. At 1,000 is bid. We'll go in hundreds on this one if you want. 1,100 next. At £1,000 is the bid in a minute. At 1,000 bid. At 1,000, 1,000 is the bid now online bid at £1,000. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. At 1,000 online bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Would anyone else like to come in for 1,100 here? At £1,000 is the bid at the minute. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Finished and done. I will submit the bid to the vendor. It's a little way off at just £1,000, so make no mistake. Are we finished and done at just £1,000? Online bid at £1,000. Finished and done 1,000. Provisionally with you online. Bidder number 10. £75,000 provisional. We will make that call. I'm just going to quickly give you a quick update. Lot number 31. Okay, yeah. Lot number 31, I ain't got that. Lot number 30, going to go 2005 Harley Davidson, and over to Steve.
Well, Tom, motorcycling is a broad church indeed. Many tribes come together to form the world of motorcycling, and of course, there are a few more dedicated than the Harley clan, dedicated to a single mark. Harley Davidson have been around since 1903. This one's from 2005, and it is, in many ways, an ultimate. I don't think you could find a Harley Davidson Road King with more money, more extras, more additions, and more power, because this bike is fitted with an supercharger. £30,000 of expenditure on top of the purchase price of the motorcycle. That's right, he bought the ultimate bling Road King, and then he managed to find a way to spend 30 grand on it, and now it could be yours for a fraction of that price. You could be the king of bling.
Yes, and £30,000 spent on building it as an extra. That's just absolutely insane. And it is a great looking motorcycle. Going to start the bidding off at £5,500, £6,000 we start. At 6,000 the bid. I'll take 6,500 next if we can on this one here. At 6,000 is bid. At 6,000, 6,000 on the Harley Davidson. A monstrous bike indeed at £6,000 the bid. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. At £6,000, we are bid at the minute at £6,000. At 6,000, 6,000, I'll take 5 if you're coming in. At £6,000 the bid. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. Would anyone else like to come in? 6,500 you do. At 6,005. At 6,500 the bid. At 6,500, 6,500, I'll take 7 if you're coming back. I'll tell you what, we're going 250s. Would you like to come in for the quarter? At 6,005. At 6,500, we're bid at the minute. At 6,005 is an online bid here at 6,005. At 65, 65, 65. At 6,500, finishing done then at 6,005. I'll take 6,750 if you're thinking about it. At 6,500 is the bid. At 6,005. At 65, 65, 65. At 6,500, I'll go one more if you will. At 6,005, 6,750 bid. At 6,750, I'll take 7 if you're coming back in now. At 6,750 is the bid at the minute. At 6,750, would you like to go 7? 7 back in. At 7,000, 7,000, 7,000. At £7,000 we are bid. I'll take 250 again. 7,250, thank you. At 7,250 is the bid. At 7,250, 7,250. I'll take 7,500 if you're coming back in now online. At 7,250 is the bid. At 7,250, 7,250. At 7,250 we are bid. Would you like to go 7,500 one more? At 7,250 is the bid at the minute. At £7,250. Are we finished and done here? At £7,250, I'll take 7,500 back in 7,500. At 7,005. At 7,000, 7,005. Would you like to go again? At 7,005. The bid is online now at 7,005. At 7,500, 7,500, 7,500. At £7,500 is the bid with you online. At 7,500. At 7,500, I'll take 7,750 if you want to go again underbidder. It's your last chance. And fair warning then. At 7,500, finished and done. Last chance, fair warning. Hammers up once, twice. Finished and done at £7,500. Online bid 7,500. Provisional with you at 7,500, 739. Moving on to lot number 31 is another one. It's the 2009 Kawasaki there, and it's sold away already. So we move down to lot number 32. Lot number 32 is the 1995 Suzuki. Then it's the GSF 250 Bandit. There we go. I love the Bandits. They look great indeed. Look at the framework on it, the paintwork on this one. Stunning looking bike, and I'm going to go straight in £1,000 and £1,200 with my bidder now. At £1,200 we start. At 1,200, 1,200 is the bid. At 1,200 a bid now. 1,200 is bid on the Bandit now at 12. At 1,200, 1,200 is bid. At 1,200, 1,200. Would anyone like to come in for 14? At 1,200 is the bid at the minute. At £1,200 we are bid. At 1,200, 14 bid online. 14 back in. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400. 1,600 is your next bid if you're coming in on this one. At 1,400, my bidder's out. It's you online. At 1,400, 1,400. At £1,400, 1,600. Gentleman's bid now. Thank you, sir. Your bid. At 1,600. At 1,600, 1,600. Online, would you like to go 18? At 1,600 is the bid now. At 1,600, 1,600. A Bandit at just 16, 18 bid. 1,800. At 1,800, 1,800. At £1,800 we're bid. At 1,800, 1,800. At £1,800 is the bid at the minute. At £1,800 online. Would you like to, sir? At 1,800. 19? 19 bid, thank you. At 1,900 a bid. Gentleman's bid now, back in at 1,900. I'll do the same for you online. Would you like to go 2? At 1,900 is the bid. Gentleman's bid here. At 1,900, 2,000 back in. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. It's a great looking bike at just £2,000. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. I'll stay in these hundreds. Would you like to come back in for one more? At 2,000 a bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. 2-1 back in, thank you, sir. At 2,001. At 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Online, it's your turn. Would you like to go 2-2? Gentleman's bid here then at 2,001. At 2,000, 2,100, are we finished and done? 2-2 back in online. At 2,002. At 2,002. What about 50, sir? At 2,002. I'll tell you what, I'll take the 50 and I'll put it on sale. At 2,200 here. 2,250 and on outright sale now at £2,250. Online, make it nice and quick if you do. It's going to sell today. We're in the £50 bids. At 2,250 to bid, then what? 223. Sorry, 2-3's bid online. At 2-3, shaking head. Sorry, sir. At 2,003, walking away now. At 2,003 is with you online. At 2,300 a bid. I'll take 50 if anyone else wants to come in. It is going to sell today, so make no mistake. At 2,003. At 2,000, 2,300 a bit, then 2,003. Hammers up and away it goes at 2,300 once. At 2,300 twice. Finished and done. Online bid at £2,300. Sold. 2-3. 11-5-3-6. Moving to lot number 33. Lot number 33 here then is the 1986, is the Honda TLR 200. Reflex 4-stroke dual properties trials bike as well. Great looking bike, this one. It now has got its AVS, I believe. V5, is it? Yep. There we go. Starting on this one with my commission bidders here, going to go straight in at 1,000, 11, 12 bid at £1,200. At 1,200, 1,200 here. At 1,200 on the trials bike now. At 1,200, I'll take 13 if you're coming in. At 1,200, 1,200 is the bid here at 12. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. At £1,200, we are bid at the minute at £1,200. At 1,200, 1,200, would you like 13 online? You're thinking about it now. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. At £1,200, we're bid here at £1,200. Maiden bid then at 12, 13 bid. At 13, back in now, 13. At 1,300, 1,300. At 1,300 with the online bid. At 1,300, 14's back in. At 1,400, 1,400. Online, would you like 15? At £1,400 is the bid now at 14. At 1,400 is bid. At 1,400, 1,400, finished and done. Last chance in fair warning then at £1,400. Make no mistake. Finished done, £1,400. Submitting the bid then at £1,400. 10.56 his way, £1,400. Provisional. Moving on down, we go to lot number 34 this time then. Lot number 34, 2005 is the Aprilia RSV. It's the Mile V-Twin Superbike. Look at that bike, ladies and gentlemen. It looks great. A mean machine it is indeed. Starting away with me at just £1,000. £1,000 on the Aprilia. 1,000 is bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. At £1,000, we're bid now. At £1,000 is the bid. And 12 bid now. At 1,200, 1,200, 14 back to me. At 1,400. At 1,400, 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400, we're bid now at 14. Would you like 16 underbidder? At £1,400. At 1,400, 1,400, are we finished and done here at just 1,400? I'll tell you what, I'll take 1,500 if it helps you out online. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400, finished and done then. My commission bidder at the minute at £1,400. Make no mistake, it's your last chance, 15 bid. At 1,500 is bid. My bidder's out, you're in. At 1,500, 1,500, online bid now. At £1,500. Would anyone else like to come in for 16 on this one now? At 1,500, 1,500. At 1,500, are we finished? Are we done? Last chance. Fair warning then, £1,500 online bid, submitting away. Make no mistake, at £1,500. Submit that bid, 11,547, 11,547, £1,500, provisional. Moving on to lot number 35 this time then. Lot number 35 is the 1998 Ducati 916 SPS, there we go. Low mileage example, 5,500 miles roughly on the clock on this one. MOT'd until June 2026 as well. Great looking Ducati again. We've got some great Ducatis in this auction, and this is definitely one of them. Going to start the bidding off with me. Where should we start? Who's got 10,000? 10,000 to start. £10,000 to start. I'm going to go with my low-balling bid that's been left. I'm going to go in at 5, 5.5, £6,000. We'll stay in the 500s if we can. At £6,000 is bid. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. At £6,000 is the bid now at 6. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. I'll take 500s from this point if you're coming in. At 6,000, 6,5. At 6,005 and 7 back to me. At £7,000. At 7,000, 7,000. Would you like to go 5 again? 7,5. 8 back in. At 8,000 now. At 8,000, 8,000 is bid. Take 5 again if you will. At £8,000 we're bid. At 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. At £8,000 is the bid now at 8,000. Would you like to go 5 again on this one? At £8,000 is bid. At 8,000, 8,000, 8,500 bid now, 8,500 back in. At 8,005. At 8,500 is the bid now at 8,500. At 8,500 on the Ducati here, then at just 8,500 seems little money to me for this monstrous machine. At 8,500 is the bid online. At 8,000, 8,005. I'll take 9 if anyone's coming in now. At 8,500 is the bid. At 8,005, coming in online. I can see you hovering, thinking about it now. At 8,005, make no mistake. I'll take 9 if you're coming in there. At 8,005 and 9 bid. Back in now at 9. In the West Midlands at £9,000 the bid. At 9,000, 9,000, 9,000, underbidder. It's your turn now. At £9,000, we're bidding away. At 9,000. At 9,000, 9,000, 9,000. At 9,000, underbidder, would you like to go 5 again? At 9,000, 9,000, 5 back in you do. Thank you very much online. At £9,000, we are bid. At 9,005, sorry. At 95, 95, 95. Online underbidder, would you like to go 10? At 9,005. At 9,500 is the bid now at £9,500. At 9,005. You're thinking about it online. Would you like to go 10? If you come in for 10, I'll drop the bid to the quarters. At 9,005. At 9,500 once. 10,000 bid. We'll go in the quarters now then. 10,250, will you? At £10,000 is bid. At 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. At £10,000 is the bid at the minute at 10. I'll take 250 if you want to come back in. At 10,000 is the bid. 10,250 bid again. At 10,250, 10,250, welcome back. At 10,250, you're in the lead. Underbidder, would you like to go 10,5? At 10,250 to bid. At 10,250, 10,250. 10,5, 10,5, back in. At 10,500 is the bid now at 10,5. At 10,500 bid. West Midlands bidder, you're in. At 10,005, underbidder, would you like to go one more? At 10,500 is bid. 10,750. Welcome back. 10,750 bid. Would you like to go 11 online? One more. At 10,750 is bid. At 10,750 to bid now, 10,750, make no mistake. At 10,750 to bid now, 10,750 is bid online here. At 10,750, 11 it goes on. Welcome back in. West Midlands, you do it again. £11,000. At 11,000, 11,000. At 11,000, 11,000, would you like another quarter now online? At 11,000, 11,000, 11,000. At 11,000, 11,000, 11,000, are we finished and done here? Make no mistake. At 11,000, 11,000. Last chance then, we're going to submit the bid online at 11,000 once, twice, finished and done at £11,000. Your bid online, 11,000, 12240, 12240. There we go, 11,000, provisional. We will make that call online. Moving on to lot number 36 this time then. Lot number 36, 1966 Honda CB77. It's the Super Hawk to be sold today with no reserve. And I got several commission bids. Going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, £1,000 we start. At £1,000, you're in. 1,200, 14, 16, 18 bid. 18, 2002, 22's bid. I'll take 2, 4 next. At 2002 it goes. It runs off online at 2002. At 2000, 2004. 2-4, gentleman's bid in the middle. At 2-4, 2-6. I'll take 2-7 if you want to come back in, sir. 2-7, 2-8's back in with you. 2-8, one more might do it, sir. 2-9, 2-9, you're in. At 2009. At 2,900, gentleman's bid now at 2009. At 2,000, 2,900, would anyone else like 3 here? At 2,900 is to be sold today, so make no mistake. At £2,900 we're bid. At 2,9, 2,9, 2,9. At 2,900, I'm going to put the hammer up. Bid fast if you want to come in on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Don't miss it now. 3 bid back online at 3. I'll stay in the hundreds for you if it helps, sir. At £3,000 we're bid. At 3,000, 3,000 is the bid now at 3. 3-1 back in. Thank you, sir. Seated bidder at £3,100. Gentleman's bid is with you at 3,001. Online, would you like to go to? At 3,000, 3,100 is the bid. At 3-1 once. At 3-1 twice. Finished, done, hammers up, away it goes, and it sells left-handed with you, sir, at £3,100. Sold it 862's way. Thank you very much. 862, your bid there, £3,100, sold away. Moving on to lot number 37's up next. Lot number 37 is this lovely red 2002 Honda VFR 800. Again, another no reserve bike to be sold today. Start me off. I don't know, who's got £500 for this? Lovely little Honda there, surely worth £500. Who's going to kick it off? 200 then. Online you do, thank you. At 200 you're in. At 200 is bid. At 200, 200 bid. 300, 4, 4, 5, 6. Shakes the head with you, sir, at £600 at the minute. At 600, gentleman's bid. 7's online. At 700, 700, 700. Would you like 8? 8 already. 800's bid. At 800, 800, 800. At £800 online. I'll take 50 if it helps, sir. £800 online bid. At 800 a bid. At 800 are we finished? 850 bid back in now. 850 South Yorkshire's in. At £850 we're bid. At 850, 850 it must go today, so make no mistake. 9. At 900, 900, 900. At £900 we're bid. At 900 is the bid now at 9. At 900, 900, 900. At £900 are we finished? Are we done? Last chance, fair warning. The online bid then. At £900, the hammer's up and away it goes. Once, twice. Finished, done, selling now. £900. Sold 11,547's way. Moving on to lot number 38. Lot number 38 is the 1980 MZTS Twin Shock Trials bike there. Going to go straight in with my bid at 5 and £600. At 600 is bid. At 600, 600 bid now 6. At £600 is the bid now at 6. I'll take 7 if you're coming in. At 600 is the bid. At 600, 600, 600. At £600 are we bid at 7. At 600 a bid. At 600, 600 are we finishing done here at just £600 with my commission bidder. Would you like to go 7 online or anyone in the room? Are we finished? Are we done at £600? Make no mistake, finished and done this time at £600. 1063 takes that one, £600 provisionally there, £600. We will make that call for you online. Moving on and away, we go down to lot number 39 this time then. Lot number 39 is the 1979 Benelli 2C, two-stroke twin. There we go. Where are we going to go? Start me off on this one. Who's got £1,000 to start on this one? You're in, £1,000, thank you. 1,002, it goes on again. At 1,200's bid online. 14, sir? 14 bid up top. At 14's bid. At 1,400 now. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 is the bid. I'll tell you what, underbidder, would you like to go 15? We'll stay in the hundreds for now. At £1,400, gentleman's bid here at 1,400. Would anyone like to come in for 15? At 1,400, 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400, gentleman's bid up top then. At £1,400, are we finished? Are we done? Last chance, fair warning, £1,400. 15, just in time. 15, would you like 16? 50? 15.50, I'll take it. Thank you, sir. At 15.50, make it nice and quick online if you're coming back in. It's in £50 now. At 15.50, 1,600 online's back in. Shakes the head up top. At £1,600, you're in line there at 1,600. At 1,600 in Somerset. At £1,600. Would anyone else like 50? 1,650 up top. 1,650's bid. 1,650. Somerset, make it nice and quick. At 1,650, 1,650. At 1,650 to bid, then 1,650 once, twice. Finished, done at 1,650. 17, sneaking back in 17. At 17, 17, Somerset, you're in. At 1,700. At 1,700, 1,700. Would anyone else like 50 here? At £1,700, we are bid. At 1,700, 1,700. Last chance. At £1,700. Make no mistake here, at £1,700, 50 back in up top. At 1,750 bid. Thank you, sir. At 1,750, 1,750. You want this one. At 1,750, I don't blame you. At 1,750 is bid. Online, Somerset, you coming back in. We'll give you that countdown then online. At 1,750, we go once. At 1,750 the bid, then we go twice. Finishing done then at 1,750. Make no mistake, finishing done 1,750. Provisionally, sir, with you up top at 1,750, we will make that call for you. We're not too far off. Could I just have your paddle number, if possible, please, sir? 723, thank you very much. Moving on to lot number 40 then, 2008, Ducati. And there's only one person that can talk about this bike, and it's you, Steve.
If I switch my microphone on, there is. So I have done. Well, Tom, we've been in the foothills of motorcycle sales so far. We've made it to base camp on a couple of occasions, but right now we're at the top of the mountain, breathing the rarefied air that exists up there. Not only is this motorcycle this beautiful work of art behind me, a 2008 Ducati Desmo Sedici RR, it is a 2008 Ducati Desmo Sedici, I say again, RR, with £30,000 of upgrades added to what was already the pinnacle of motorcycle engineering back in 2008. How can that be, Berry, you might say? How could you possibly add 30 grand of value to this motorcycle? Well, the quick shifter cost 8 grand for starters. And these Dimag wheels, guess what? And the ceramic discs ain't cheap. Obviously, all of the original parts that were put on it at the factory in Bologna come with the bike. It has a very special number plate. It has a very special history. It's done 2,900 miles since 2008. And for me, this is the pinnacle. This is as good as it ever gets, ever. I want it, but I can't afford it. But you might be able to today, because we reckon it's going to go for a fraction of the price that it cost this gentleman. And Mr. Deck Eccles, a local champion in numerous disciplines and a star of Speedway at Bellevue Aces. He was the previous owner, he was the guy that built this. But today, you could be the person who rides away on it. Just think of that. The ultimate, a 2008 Ducati Desmo Sedici RR, a very special one. Get bidding, come on.
I mean, it's all race suits up and ready to go, this one, and ready to ride. But if you want to put it back onto the road, it's got all of the parts with it. It's all singing, it's all dancing. It's a lovely motorcycle. And my bid definitely suggests that. I'm going to go in at 30, 32, 34, 36,000 pounds we start. At 36,000 pounds is bid. At 36,000 now, I'll take 40 next. At 36,000 pounds. At 36 the bid. At 36, 38. 40's back to me. At 40,000 pounds we are bid. At 40,000, 40,000 the bid. At 40,000 now, would anyone else like to come in for 42? Ducati history here, 42 online. 44 back to me. I'm gonna have to go 46 to me. My bidder now at 46,000 pounds is the bid here on the Ducati. Then at 46,000 pounds, I'll take 48,000 if anyone wants to jump in. At 46,000 pounds is the bid now at 46,000. At 46,000 pounds, Ducati here at 46,000 pounds. Make no mistake, I'm going to take 47,000 if anyone wants to jump in from this point. At 47,000 pounds, at 47 if you're coming in. At 46,000 is the current bid at the minute. Online, would you like to jump in? At 46,000 pounds, and we're going to sell it, so make no mistake. At 46,000 pounds is the bid. At 46,000, I'll take the 500 if you're nice and quick. Would you like that small buy? 46,000 pounds is going to sell today. The Ducati at 46,000 pounds is bid. At 46,000, are we finished here? Are we done? At 46,000 pounds, the bid. Once. At 46,000 pounds, twice, and sells this time. Make no mistake, at 46,000 pounds it goes. Then at 46,000, sold at 46,000 pounds to my bidder on the book 3033. You are the new owner of that lovely Ducati. Moving on down we go to lot number 41 then. Lot number 41. I quite like this bike. It's cool, it's quirky, it's a little bit different. It's the 2006 Yamaha CP250 there. The cruising maxi scooter there. Who's got £1,000 for the maxi scooter? Surely £1,000 for this. It's different, it's quirky. I like it. Two-seater scooter there. Look at the size of it. Surely worth £1,000 to start on this one. How about £500 then? £500. Two-seater scooter. Can't you get me? Where's that? Two-seater scooter. 5 up top. Thank you. At 500 a bid. At 500, 500 is bid. At 500, 500, 6 bid now. At £600. At 600, 600, would you like to go 7? At 600 is bid. At 600, 600, 600 is the bid now at 6. At £600 coming back in for 7. At 600 bid. At 600, 600, 600 is the bid now at 6. At 600, 600, 600. Are we finished and done then at just £600? Last chance and fair warning then at 600, 650 back in. At 650 the bid, gentleman's bid. At 650, 650, 650. 700 now. At £700 it goes on. At 700, 700, 700. I'll take 50 again if you're coming back in, sir. At 700 is bid. At 700, 700, 700 is the bid now at 7. Finished and done then. Last chance and fair warning. I'll submit the bid to the vendor then. Finished and done at £700. Provisionally with you, 1047. Provisional there, 1047. Moving on to lot number 42. Lot number 42, 1982. It's the Honda C70 this time then. Honda C70, lovely little bike. You're in. I was in at 800, 900, 1,000. You're in, 11 bid. Ireland's in. £1,100 is bid already. 1,100. I'll take 12 if anyone's thinking about it. At 1,100 is the bid now 11. At 1,100, 1,100, 1,100. With the Ireland bidder now at £1,100. At 1,100, 1,100, 1,100. I'll take 50 then if anyone's nice and quick. Would anyone like a small bite now? At £1,100, are we finished and done? 1,150, it moves on. 1,150, 1,150. At 1,150, would anyone like 12? 1,150, 1,150 is the bid. At £1,150, are we finished and done here? Make no mistake. At 1,150, 1,150, 1,150. Once. At £1,150, the bid. Twice. Finished and done at 11.50. We'll make that call for you online, 17,599. Moving on to lot number 43 this time then. Lot number 43. 1998 Honda CL 400 this time. Part of a lifelong private collection. Being sold due to retirement as well. I'm going to open up with my commission bid here at 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100 is bid. At £1,100 is the bid at the minute. 1,100, 1,100, 1,100. At £1,100 on the Honda CL 400 here. At 1,100 is the bid. At 1,100, 1,100 bid. Would anyone else like 12 now? At 1,100 bid. At 1,100, 1,100 bid now 11. If you're coming in, now's your chance. At £1,100 the bid. At 1,100, 1,100, are we finished and done at just 1,100? 12's in now. My bid's out. It's with you, sir. At £1,200. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. Would anyone else like to come in? Gentleman's bid here at £1,200. Are we finished and done? Last chance. Fair warning. We submit the bid then. At £1,200, it goes left-handed 1,200. Submit that bid for you, sir. 724. Thank you. Moving on to lot number 44 is the 2024 in the year. A newer bike here. Have a good look at this one, ladies and gentlemen. BMW K1600 GT SE. It's practically like new. It's got less than 500 miles on the clock. Look at the livery on it as well. Stunning bike it is. Where are you up to? 7. I was in at 6, 6.5, 7,000 we start. 7.5's my bid. At 7,005. At 7,500 here now at 7.5. 2024 in the year at 7,005. At 7,000, 7,500 is bid. I'll take 8 if you're coming in online. 8,000 you do. At 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. At £8,000 is your bid. At 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. 8.5 now. New bidders in at 8,005. At 8,000, 8,500 is the bid now at 8,005. Would you like 9 online? Yes, you do. Thank you again. At 9,000 is your bid. At 9,000, 9,000, 9,000. A lot of motorbike here for very little money. At £9,000 is the bid. At 9,000, 9,000. I'll take 250s if it helps you out, either on 9,250, gentleman's bid, sneaking in. At 9,250, thank you, sir. At 9,250 is bid. 9.5, back online. At 9,005. At 9.5, 9.5, 9.5. At 9,005, 9,750, it goes on again. At 9,750 and 10 bid. At 10,000 now. At 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. 250. At 10,250, thank you online. Kettering is with you, 10,250. 10.5. 10.5. At 10,500, it's off to Suffolk at the minute. At 10,005. Would you like one more? 10,750. 10,750 here. At 10,750 is the current bid now. At 10,750 on the BMW K1600, monstrous bike it is. At 10,750 is the bid. Would you like 11? Are we finished at 10,750? Last chance. Fair warning, 11. 11 bid. Back in now, 11. 11,000, 11,000, 11,000. At 11,000, 11,000, 11,000. Would you like to go 250 again online? At £11,000 we are bid. At 11,000, 11,000, 11,000. 11,250. 11,250 is the bid now. 11,250 back in Kettering. At 11,250 bid. At 11,250, 11,250. At 11,250 is the bid now. 11,250. Would you like 11,500? 11,500 you do. 11,500. 11,500, 11,500, 11,500. At £11,500 the bid. At 11,500, 11,500, 11,500. Would you like to go again online? At 11,500. I'm going to give you that countdown underbidder. We're going to go once at £11,500 the bid. We're going to go twice at £11,500 the bid. Make no mistake, we're finishing done then at £11,500. We'll make that call for you online. 11,487, 11,487. £11,500. I'm just going to do this next one and then come over, yeah? Right then, lot number 45 this time then is the 1978 Suzuki there. Where are we up to with this one? You're in, we'll start with your bid. I'm in at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000's bid online. At £1,000 bid. At 1,000, 1,000 is the bid now. At £1,000 online bid here at £1,000. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. At £1,000 with the online bid at the minute at £1,000. Would anyone like 1,100? At £1,000 here. GS750, very original complete bike at just £1,000. Make no mistake, we'll submit the bid then at £1,000 for the first 11 bid new bidder. 1,100, 1,100. Somerset bidder, you are in, £1,100. Underbidder, would you like to go 12? At 1,100, 1,100. 1,200 bid, thank you again, you are in. At 1,213 bid now. At 1,300, 1,300. At 1,300 is the bid now at 13. At 1,300, I'll tell you what, go 14. 14 bid. At 1,400, we'll take 50 and we'll put it on outright sale. At 1,400, I'll take 50 now. At 1,400 is bid. 1,450 bid back in. 1,450. At 1,450, 1,450 is the online bid. At 1,450, would you like 1,500? 15 you do. At 1,500, 1,500 it sells today, so make no mistake here. At 1,500 a bid. At 1,500 you're in. 1,550 new bidder now. At 1,550 is bid. At 1,550 with you. At 1,550 is bid. Underbidder, you coming back for one more. At 1,550 we go once. At 1,550 we go 16 bid, 16. At £1,600. At 1,600, 1,600. Would you like to go 50 one more? At 1,600, are we finished? Are we done? Once, twice, finished and done and selling now at £1,600. Sold online, 1,600, 9667, 9667. Sold away with you online at £1,600. And we are going to have a slight little introduction and a chat with Steve Berry to talk over one of the next very interesting bikes that you will see coming your way in a Manor Park auction very soon.
Well, yes, Tom. I think people might say, well, Berry, you told us you'd taken us to the top of the mountain over there with the Ducati, the Desmos at HERR. Well, I think we've gone a bit higher. I know that's kind of a contradiction in terms, but as Tom said, this is something that isn't in this sale, but is in the next sale, and something that I believe, and a lot of other people also back me up, it's not just me being deluded here, not like usual, will never happen again, because this, as I'm sure many of you will be aware, is a partially stripped down RD500LC Yamaha, but it's unique, and let me tell you why. We don't know the full story. Some parts of the story are yet to be revealed, but this is what we know so far. At some point, a pre-production bike, this one, number 18 in RD500 production, made its way to Europe. We think France. And when I say made its way to Europe, I mean went to the Yamaha division in that country. For some reason, you know, so that they could see it, get used to it, learn how to service it, learn about the bike. The bike was kept in storage. Many years later, somebody who worked for Yamaha decided to commission this bike and put it on the road. But then he discovered that the years of storage hadn't been entirely kind to it. It wasn't absolutely perfect. And so this gentleman spent the next 20 odd years finding brand new parts, brand new Yamaha RD500LC parts from using his contacts within Yamaha, the Yamaha network throughout the world. He found, I'm not even going to touch them, these are like ancient Egyptian relics in the British Museum. I should have white gloves on, really, shouldn't I? He found every single part brand new. Genuine Yamaha, brand new around the world. It took him 20 odd years to do it. Having finally put together what a mate of mine has called the ultimate Airfix kit, he's decided to sell it. This will never happen again. This has only happened once and will never happen again. Imagine, you could build, not restore, build a brand new Yamaha RD500LC in 2025 using all brand new parts. Yeah, but you can't do it yet because it's in our next sale. Let me bring you over here and have a look at something else. Let's look at these scooters here, because obviously the world of collectible motorcycles isn't just that, isn't just stuff that sells for crazy money, rightfully for crazy money, because as I said, you know, it's unique. Something like this, it's created a lot of interest. Now, I think I mentioned before that I am the former editor of Scootering magazine. It was a while ago, 30 odd years ago, but it's how I got started. And it's funny, the collectible nature of something like this Lambretta scooter. When it was new, it would have retailed in the mid-60s for something like 275 quid or something like that. By the time we started dragging them out of council lockups, garden sheds in the late 70s and early 80s, we were paying 10 quid, 20 quid for them. I bought, this is an SX 150, the really desirable one. This is really nice, in really lovely condition. The really desirable SX is the 200, which had, in the mid-60s, an enclosed disc brake instead of the drum brake that you'd find here. And it'd do about 72 mile an hour flat out, which for 1964 wasn't bad for a scooter. One of those sold recently, bearing in mind that I bought one for 20 quid in 1981, one sold recently for £25,000. It's the power of nostalgia, isn't it? It's not necessarily the rarity, because they made these things in their millions. I mean, they really did. But it's the power of nostalgia. But there's a brief window there, and it's very few bikes and very few cars, because, of course, we do deal with cars here at Manor Park as well as the bikes, and it's the car sale tomorrow. The nostalgia thing kicks in for a while, but some machines are immune to that. Some machines, maybe the Vincents, the Bruffs, maybe a BSA Gold Star, maybe a bevel drive Ducati. Some bikes will surpass that. They have a value that lives on past the nostalgic appeal of the lads who always wanted one when they were new. I didn't want one when they were new, because I hadn't been born yet, but 20 years later I did, and they were very, very affordable. And do you know what I wish I'd done? Filled up a big old barn with loads of them, but I didn't, because I was young and daft. But there's nothing wrong with being young and daft, and of course that's why some of us bid and buy bikes in this sale, which I encourage you to do. Don't forget, you have to register. If you're watching this and you haven't registered, bid. Why not? It's easy and quick. Just go to manorparkclassics.com. Tom is back where he belongs, on the dais or the podium or whatever we're calling it up there. So I'm going to shut up now and let him sell you some more fantastic bikes. Thank Thank you, Tom.
Thank you very much, Steve. And also on the nostalgia front, as you look around this room, it's just full of nostalgia. So we're going to not ramble on anymore, and we're going to go straight in now to lot number 46. Is the 2004 Triumph Daytona 600. Great condition. Super Sport 600 as well. Look at the livery on the front as well. Great looking bike. Someone else thinks so. We're straight in at £1,000 is bid. At 1,000 is the bid now. 1,000 online. At 1,000, 1,000. At £1,000 we're bid. At 1,000, 1,000 is the bid. Would you like 1,200 online? You're thinking about it. I'll take 1,100 if it helps. At £1,000 is bid. At 1,000, 11 bid. At £1,100 is the bid now 11. 12 bid now back in. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. Would you like 13? 13 you do. Thank you online. 1,300, your bid. 14. 1,400. At £1,400, we're bid now at 14. At 1,400, 1,400. I'll tell you what. I'll take the 50 and I'm going to put it on sale. It's on sale, so we go from the word now, it's selling, so make no mistake. Underbidder, would you like to go 1,450? At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 is the bid. Are we finished and done? I'm going to sell at just £1,400 for the first time. At 1,400 for the second time. Finished and done. It sells this time. Make no mistake. At £1,400 it goes. Sold online. 1,400. 17,858. Moving on to lot number 47. Lot number 47, 1977 Honda VFR 750 is the iconic V4 this time there. That's a nice looking Honda. You're in 1,000, 11, 12, 1,300 we start. At 1,300 is the bid. At 1,300, 1,300. At 1,300 I'll take 14 if you want to come in. At 14 bid online. At 1,400 is the bid now at 14. At 1,400 with the online bidder, my commission bidder is out. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400, at 1,400 is the bid. Online, are you thinking about it? I'll take 50 if you're nice and quick. We're nearly there. At £1,400, I'll take 50. One more. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 with the online bid now at 14. At 1,400, are we finished and done? At 1,400 once. At 1,400 twice, I'm going to sell. Make no mistake, finished and done. It sells this time then at £1,400. Sold at 1,400. 17,858. Same bidder. Thank you very much. Moving on down, we go to lot number 48 this time then. Lot number 48 is the 1959. It's the James Cadet. Stunning example. Have a look at this bike. Great looking bike this one is. Going to start the bidding off with me at 500, 600 bid. At 600, 7, 800 back to me. At 800 is the bid now at 8. At 800, 800, 800. Would you like 9? At 800, a bit now 800. On the James Cadet, look at that little bike there. Right here there. Great looking bike it is. At £800. At 800, 800, 800. 900's bid. At 900, a bit now 900. Your bid online at 9. At 900, 900, 900. Would you like 1,000 anywhere else? At 900 is the bid. At 900, 900, 900. At 900, are we finished and done? At just £900, I'll take 50 if anyone else is thinking about it now. At £900 is an online bid here. At 900, 900, 900. £1,000 is bid on the telephone. Thank you on the phones. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Coming back in online. We'll take the 50 again. At £1,000 is bid. At 1,000 bid. Telephone bidder right-handed over here, then at £1,000. It's with you on the phone. At 1,000 is bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, are we finished? Are we done at £1,000? Last chance. At 1,000, 1,000, are we finished? Are we done for the second time? Then at £1,000 on the telephone, finishing done at £1,000. We'll submit the bid for you on the telephone at £1,000. Just waiting for the number there. £1,000 provisional. Telephone. I just put telephone on there, all right. Right then, moving on to the next one, lot number 49, this time 1989. Honda is the VFR 400, the legendary NC30 as well. Lovely looking livery again on this bike there. MOT to July 2026 as well. Let's start the bidding on this one. 14, 16, 1600's bid. At 1600 here. At 1600 with my bidder now at 16. At 16, 18's bid, now 2,000 back in with me. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. At £2,000 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, my commission bidder now. Would you like to go one more online? At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. At £2,000 is bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, I'll take 2,2 if you're coming in for one more. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Are we finished? Are we done at just £2,000? At 2,000, 2,000, then once. At 2,000, then twice. Finished, done, last chance, fair warning, then at £2,000. Provisionally with my commission bidder 3027. Moving on to lot number 50, another lovely James Comet. It's the 1951, and over to Steve.
Tom, it's 1951. You've got a choice. There are all kinds of affordable, lightweight motorcycles out there to tempt the new buyer of a machine like this, including those newfangled motor scooter things from Italy, from Innocenti and Piaggio, the Vespa and Lambretta. The British motorcycle industry responded with things like this fabulous 1951 James Comet with its proprietary Villiers 98cc engine. There was no reason for it to have so much style. There was no reason for gold pinstriping and elaborate paintwork and shiny, shiny chrome. But they knew they had to compete with the rest, and so they built something, even though it's a modest commuter little bike and would have been a very affordable at the time, they built something a bit fantastic. But I tell you what, I bet nobody ever thought they'd see somebody restore one to this standard. The standard of restoration on this humble little 1951 James is absolutely awe-inspiring. It's perfect, and it's going to be perfect for a buyer that I just know is out there or in this room right now.
And there are a few of them out there because the system has been pinging away to my left. It's gone 8, 9, 1,000, £1,100 we start. At £1,100 with the online bid now at 11. At 1,100, 1,100, 1,100 is your online bid. At £1,100 at the minute. At 1,100, 1,100 would anyone else like 12? At 1,100, 1,100 is the bid. 12 telephone bidder 12. At 1,200 on the phones. Tim's telephone bidder now. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. Bidding, 13 bid, 1,300. At 1,300 at the top. At 13, 13 bid. At 13, 13, 14 bid, now 14. At 14 bid. At 1,400, 1,400, coming back in for one more. At 15 they do. At 1,500, 1,500 is bid. It's against you on the phones. At £1,500. At 1,500, 1,500. It's gonna sell today at £1,500, so make no mistake. At 1,500 is bid. At 1,500, 1,500, I'll take 16 bid. That's 1,600, thank you. At 1,600, 1,600. At 1,600, 1,600, telephone bidder. I'll take 50 from anyone else if they want to come in from this point, or we sell to the telephone bidder. 1,650. 1,650 to bid. At 1,650, 1,650. At £1,650, 17 back in 17. At 1,700 on the little James now at 1,700. They say they're out at 1,700, 1,700. Would anyone else like to come in for a quick £50? At 1,700, are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance and fair warning. Then we sell with you on the telephone at 1,700, finished and done. Sold at £1,700. Telephone bidder's way. What's your paddle number over there, Tim? I'm going to do the same, just put telephone. Right, moving down, we go to lot number 51. Lot number 51 is the 1957 Lambretta there, the LD125. Another lovely Lambretta in today's sale, starting off 1,012, 14 bid. At 1,400 we start. At 1,400, 1,400 is the bid now at 14. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400, 1,400. Would anyone else like to come in now at £1,400? At 1,400, 1,400. My bidder at the minute at just £1,400. Coming in. I'll take 15 if you want to go again. At 1400 is bid. At 1400, finishing done. It's your last chance in fair warning. 15 if you're coming in online. You're thinking about it. 15 you do, my bid is out, you're in. At 1500 now. At just 1500 here. With you in Derbyshire. At 1500 is bid. At 1500. 16 new bidders in. At 1600. At 1600, next bid 1700 bidding. Would you like to go again in Derbyshire? At 1600 is your bid. At 1600, are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance in fair warning. If you're coming in, now's your chance. I'll take 50 if you're nice and quick. At 1600 the bid. Once. At 1600 the bid, then twice, and 50 now, 1650. At 1650. At £1,650 we're bid. Derbyshire bidder, you are back here now at £1,650 the bid. At 1650, underbidder, would you like to go 17? At 1650. Cheap Lambretta this is at just £1,650, so make no mistake here. At 1650 then for the first time. For the second time, finishing done at £1,650, make no mistake, 1650. With you online, bidder number 1789. We'll make that call. 17689 was that? 17891. 891. Moving on to lot number 52 then. Lot number 52, 1981 Honda. It's the XR250. Matching numbers on this. Says 367 kilometers on it as well. 250cc, road registered. Where are we going to go on this one? Start me off. Someone start me off. Who's got £1,500 to start? 1,500 surely. How about £1,000 to go then? No bids on my book on this one. £1,000 to start me off. Online or in the room, would anyone like to come in for just £1,000 surely? Thank you online, you're in. At 1,000 is bid. At 1,000 is the bid now at 1. At 1,000 we're bid. At 1,000 online bid as it at the minute at just £1,000. At 1,000 two. At 1,200 is bid. At 1,200 the bid now 12. At 1,200 would you like 14 anywhere else? At 1,200 is bid. At 1,200. At 1,200 a bid now 12. Are we finished and done here then at just £1,200? I'll take 13 if the underbidder wants to come back in. At 1,200 a bid. At 12 and 13 bid now 1,300 is bid. At 1,300 new bidders in. At £1,300 your bid 13. At 1,300. At 1,300 underbidder, would you like to go 14? Now's your chance. At 1,300 a bid. At 13 bid. At 1,300 are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance in fair warning. Then at £1,300, make no mistake here, online bid with you. At 1,300, finished, done, last chance, fair warning at £1,300. We'll submit that bid 17887. Provisional. Moving on to lot number 53, 1979 is the Yamaha RD250. Nice original example. Runs and rides well as well. Stunning looking bike. Where are we up to on this one? You got bids online at 1,500. Gonna go 2,000 with me. 2,500, 3,000, and 3,000's bid. I'll take 2 next. At 3,000 with me at 3. At 3,000, 3,000's bid. I'll take 3-2 if you're coming in. My commission bidder at the minute on outright sale at £3,000. At 3,000 is the bid. At 3-2, 3-4 back to me. At 3,004. At 3-4, 3-4. 3-6 next if you're coming in online. At 3,004. At 3-4, 3-4. At 3,400 is the bid now at 3,004. Would you like to go 3-6? You do. 3-6. 3-8 back to my commission bidder. At 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800 a bit now, 3,008. I'll tell you what, I'll take 3,900 if you want to come back in for one more online. At 3,800 is my commission bid at the minute, and it's going to sell today. At 3,000, 3,800 for the first time, then at 3,008. For the second time, then at £3,800. The hammer's up, and away it goes. It sells this time with my commission bidder at £3,800. Make no mistake, 3,800. Sold 3,000. £800. Thank you. Commission bidder 3028 takes that one. Moving on down, we go to lot number 54, this time 1961, a Royal Enfield Crusader British lightweight bike. Lovely bike again. Going to start it straight off. 1,000, 11, 12, 1,300 is bid now at 13. At 1,300, 1,300 is the bid. At 1,300, 1,300 bid now 13. At 1,300, 1,300 here. At 1,300 is the bid. At 1,300, 1,300, would you like 14 online? At 1,300 is the bid now 13. At 1,300, 1,300 bid. At 1,300 a bid now 13's bid now 13. Or would you like to come in for one more 50 then? At 1,300 a bid. At 1,300, 1,300 are we finished and done here? At just £1,300. Make no mistake then, last chance and fair warning. We'll submit the bid to the vendor at £1,300. Finished and done at £1,300. Make no mistake, 1,300. 1047, 1,300, provisional bid there, £1,300. Thank you. Moving on down, we go to lot number 55 in the sale. Lot number 55. It's the 2008, it's the KTM 690 Supermoto as well. It's a super Austrian sports bike as well. Look at that. Lovely, stunning looking bike indeed. It's done 19,000 miles on the clock. Where are we up to with this one? Start me off on this one. Who's got £1,000 for it today? 11, 12's bid. At £1,200, we're away. At 1,200 a bid, now 12. At 1,200, 1,200 bid. At 1,200, 14 bid, now 14. At 1,400 is the bid online. At 1,400, 1,400. At £1,400 is the bid, now 14. At 1,400, 1,400, 16 back in 16. At 1,600, welcome Oxfordshire. It's with you at £1,600. At 16 a bid. At 16, 16. I'll tell you what, I'll take 17 next. At 1,600 is bid online. At 1,600, 1,600, would you like 17 now? At 1,600 a bid now, 17 back in 17. At 1,700, Ireland's in 17, 18 now. At 18, 18 back to Oxfordshire. At £1,800 is with you. Would you like 19 under bidder? At 1,800, are we finished and done then? At 1,800, you're hovering at home, 19 bid. At 1,900, 1,900. At 1,900 is bid, 2,000 now. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. At £2,000 is the bid. I think there's still 3 bidders on this one. At £2,000, would any of you like to come in for 2,001? Last chance. 2-1. 2,001. 2-2. At 2,002. At 2,000, 2,200 is the bid now at 2,002. I'll take 50 and we're going to put it on outright sale at £2,200. A bargain then to be had at 2,200 for the first time sales today. £2,250 is bid at 2,250, 2,3 at 2,3 straight back in. Thank you for your fast bidding, Oxfordshire. You're in the lead at 2,003 on this lovely KTM. At 2,300, are we finished? Are we done here? At 2,300 a bit, then hammers up. 2,350. It goes on at 2,004. At 2,000, 2,004, would you like to go 50? Make it nice and quick. It's going to sell today, so make no mistake here. At £2,400, the hammer's up and away it goes. At 2,400 once. At 2,400 twice. It's selling now with you online at £2,400. Sold. 2417821. Moving on down, we go to lot number 56 this time then. Lot number 56 is the 1974 Yamaha. It's the RD250 CAF Racer there then. Where are you up to? You're in at 1,000, 12, 14 bid. At 1,400 now, we start. At 14, I'll take 16 if I can. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 is bid. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 is the bid at the minute. At 1,400 with my commission bidder at the minute at 14. At 1,400, 1,400, 16, 18, back to me. At 1,800. At 1,800, 1,800. At 1,800, I'll take 1,900 if it helps you out. My commission bidder here at £1,800. At 1,800, 1,800. Are we finished and done at just £1,800? Make no mistake. Finished, done. Last chance. Fair warning then at just £1,800. With my commission bidder, 19. Just in time, 19. My bidder's out, you're in online. At 1,900. At 1900, 1900. Would anyone else like 2? At 1900 is bid. At 1900, 1900. I'll tell you what, I'll take the 50 if it helps. Would you like a small bite in the room or anywhere online at £1,900? At 1900, 1900. Finished and done then. At 1900 once. At 1900 twice. Finished and done then at £1,900. Your bid online, 1789. 17896. 1900, provisional bid. Right, then moving down we go. Lot number 57 this time then. Lot number 57 in 1965 is the Ariel Golden Arrow 250, another calf racer again. Lovely looking bike as well. Start me off on this one. Who's got £1,000 for it, surely? Ariel Golden Arrow there. Just £1,000 to start today. Anyone interested at £1,000? How about £500 to kick me off then? 500 to come in. Nothing on my book on this one. £500 to start me off. Anyone thinking about it? Would you like to come in for £500? I'll go to, no need. 5's bid. Thank you online, you're in. In Shropshire, £500, your bid. At 500 a bid, now 5. At 500, 500, cheap little bite, this one at just £500 here. At 500, 500, 1965, Ariel Golden Arrow at just £500. At 500, 500, 500, I'll take 600 next if we can. 6 bid, you're in. At 600 a bid, now 600's online bid at 6. At 600, 600, 600. At £600 is the bid now 6. At 600, 600, would anyone like 7? At 600, 600, 600, are we finishing done then? At just £600. Last chance, fair warning. Finished and done then at £600. We'll submit that bid with you. Bidder number, I'll take it, 700, we're a little way off. Late bid coming in, at £700 it goes on. Sorry, underbidder, you need to go again. At 700, 700 is bid. At 700, 700 now. At 700, 700 underbidder, would you like to go 8? At 700, 700, are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance in fair warning then. Online bid at £700, once, twice, finished and done then at £700. 17887. Provisional. Moving on to, let me just make sure that's right. Next one is lot number 58, 1981. It's the Fantic TX250 twin shock trials bike there. Look at that one, ladies and gentlemen. Great looking trials bike. I don't know, who's got £1,000 to start? Anyone interested? Fantic TX250, £1,000 to start? If not, we'll start with my commission bidder then at £500 and £600. At 600 is bid. At 600, 600, 600. At £600, I'll take 7 if you're coming in now. At 600 is the bid now 6. At 600, 600, 600. At £600 we're bid. At 600, 600, 7 bid now 7 down on the front. At 700 a bid. At 700, 700, 700. Would anyone like 8? At 700 is the bid now at 7. Gentleman's bid seated, 8 bid online. At 800 a bid now 800 bid. At 800 a bid now 800. Would you like 9, sir? At 800 is bid here online. At 800, 800, 800. At £800, are we finishing done? I'll take 9 if you're coming back in. At 800, last chance in fair warning. The online bidder at the minute. At £800, are we finished? 950. 850 bid. Thank you, sir. At 850, gentleman's bid. 9 if you're coming back in now online. At 850, 850, 850. Unless anyone else would like to come in for 9. Are we finishing done? Last chance with the gentleman seated then. At 850 once, 850 twice. 9. Back in at 9. At 900, 950 again, if you will. At 900, 900 is the bid. At 900, 950, thank you, sir. At 950, gentleman's back in now at 950. At 950, 950, 950. At £950 online, make it nice and quick. Once, twice, finishing done at £950. I'll submit the bid for you, sir. 950 to paddle number 506. Thank you. Right then, lot number 59, the 1981 MZTS has sold away prior to auction. So we're going to go straight over to lot number 60, 1999 Kawasaki ZXR, another beautiful Ninja, and over to Steve.
Yes, when we think of the 90s superbikes, we probably think of Honda and Ducati first, but why not Kawasaki? They won the AMA Superbike Series for bikes in this class 3 times. When Scott Russell, I interviewed him a few times. Hi, my name's Scott Russell. Yes, he was Welsh. When Scott Russell won the AMA Championship the year before he came to World Superbikes and won that, he won every single round on the Kawasaki back then. So don't just think of Ducati, don't just think of Honda. When you come to think of 90 Superbikes, think of the Kawasaki ZX750R. 750cc's, 125 brake horsepower, just over 160 mile an hour top speed. And here's the best thing about this bike, controversial comment, it's not green. Kawasaki green can work, but I think in smaller amounts than is on a bike like this. I much prefer this colourway. It's come to us with few. You might be fuming at the what's-a-face and say, no, Barry, you're wrong. Kawasaki green's the colour to have. Well, it won't cost that much to change the colour, would it? You've got a really good basis for a really good bike. People are realising how scarce these are becoming. They're realising how good they are. They were always durable. They were always reliable. This one's held together very well. A bargain. Perhaps the bargain of this sale, Tom, I think.
It could be the bargain of the sale indeed, and starting off at £400, £500, £600, online biddings up to 6. At 600, 600 is the bid. At 600, 600 here. At 600, 600 the bid now. 600 is bid. 7, thank you, sir. At 700, 700, gentleman's bid. At 700, would you like 8? At 700 the bid now. 7, 8's bid online. At 800, 800 the bid. At 800, 800 bid now at 8. At 800 online, would you like 9? 900, thank you. At 900, before you online. At 900, gentleman's bid here at 9. At 900, 900, 900, would you like 1,000? At 900 a bid. At 900, 900 bid now 9. At 900 a bid now 900 is bid. 1,000's your next bid if you're coming in. £1,000. 11 bid. 1,100 now. Gentleman's bid at 1,100. Lancashire, you coming back in for one more. At 1,100 bid. At 1,100, 1,100, are you finished and done online? Would you like to go 12? 1,200 they do. At 1,200, 1,200 bid. 1,250, all right. At 1,250 bid. Gentleman takes a half at 1,250. At 1,250, 1,250, 1,250. At 1,250, 1,250, 1,250. Gentleman's bid here at 1,250. 13 if you're coming back in online. Make it nice and quick if you do. At 1,250, 13 bid. At 1,300 online. At 1,300, we'll stay in the 50s. At 1,300 is the bid now at 13. At 1,300, 1,300. At 1,300, are we finished and done then? At just £1,300. 1,350, new bidder now at 1,350's bid. At 1,350, 1,350. 1,400. At 1,400, 1,400 is the bid now at 14. At 1,400, online under bidder, would you like to go 50 again? At 1,400, 1,400. 1,450 bid. 1,450 it goes on. At 1,450, 1,450. At 1,450, next bid is 1,500. Would you go again online? At 1,450 on the Ninja now. At 1,450, 1,450, are we finished and done then? Last chance in fair warning. Make no mistake, under bidder now. At 1,450, finished and done. Once. 15 bid. 1,500, back in. At 1,500, 1,500. At 1,500, 1,500 is the bid now at 15. At 1,500, would you like to go 50 again? 1,550, back in now, 1,550. At £1,550 a bid. At 1,550, 1,550. Anyone for 16? Cheap little bike still at just 1,550, make no mistake here. At 1,550, 1,550, finished and done then. Hammers up at 1,550 once, twice. Last chance, fair warning at 1,550, online bid 1,550. We'll make the call, 9620. Thank you very much, 9620, 1,550, making the call. Moving down, we go to lot number 61 then. Lot number 61, 2015. It's the Kawasaki 1000 Superb All-Rounder. Lovely Kawasaki this is then. Where are we going to start the bidding on this one? Who's got £3,000. 3,000 to start. 2015 of the year. 2025, I believe. No, 2015, sorry, reading the wrong bit. 2015 of the year, Kawasaki there. How about £2,000 to start? Thank you, sir. You're in. At 2,000's bid. Stay in 200s if we can on this one. At £2,000 is bid. Gentleman's bid. 2-2 up top. 2-4. Would you like 2-6, sir? At 2-4 right-handed. At 2-4, 2-4, 2-6. 2-8. At 2008, 3,000. Go 3-1. 3-1. Gentleman's bid. Right-handed now at 3,100 is bid. At 3,001. 3-2. 3-2. Shakes the head now at 3,002. Up top now at 3,200 is the bid now at 3,002. 3-3. 3-3 in the center. At 3-3, 3-3, 3-3. At 3,300 is bid. 3-3-50. 3-3-50. Would you like 3-4, sir? 3-4. Another 50. 50. 3-5. 3-5. Shakes the head, walks away. With you, sir, in the middle at 3,005 at the minute. At 3,005. At 3,000, 3,005. Next bid's 3,550 if anyone else wants to come in now. At 3,005 in the middle of the room. At 3,5, 3,5, 3,5. At 3,500, then it goes once. At 3,500, then it goes twice. Finishing done then at 3,500. 525. We'll make that call for you. 525. £3,500. Provisional. Moving on to lot number 62 is the 2019. It's the BMW. It's the R, a 1250R as well. Look at this premium luxury bike as well. Lovely bike as well. Coming onto my screen shortly. There we go. Mean Demon in the black there. It's done about 8,000 miles, this one, and you're in straight away with you at 3,000. I'm going to go 3-2, 3-4, 3-6 with my bidder at 3,006. At 3,008, 4,000 back to me. At 4,000, 4,000, 4-2. At 4-2, I'm going to have to go 4-4. I'll take 4-6 if you're coming in. At 4,004. One more. At 4-4, 4-4, 4-4. At 4,400 is the bid now at 4,004. At 4,000, 4,400 is bid. Would anyone else like to come in for 4-6 here? 2019 in the year. BMW there. At 4,004. Little money it seems. At 4,000, 4,400. Are we finished and done now at just £4,400? Make no mistake. At 4-4. Last chance online. A few of you hovering. Would you like to come in? At 4,400 the bid. At 4,400, I'll tell you what, I'll go 4-5 if it helps him out. 4-5 in. At 4,005, my bidder's out. It's you online. At 4,005, I'll take 4-6 now. At 4,500, are we finished? Are we done? Last chance, 4-6. 4-6 is bid. Underbidder, 4-7. Two people online here at 4,007. Make it nice and quick if you can, underbidder. At 4,000, 4,007. At 4,700 is bid now, 4,007. At 4,700 a bid now, 4,007's bid. Would you like to go 4-8? 4-8 they do. At 4,008. 4-9, straight back in. At 4,009. At 4,000, 4,009, £5,000 is the bid now at 5. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000 with you online now at 5. At £5,000 is the bid now at 5. Would you like to go one more? At £5,000 online bid. You're thinking about it. At £5,000. Once. At £5,000 twice. 5-1. Back in 5-1. At 5,100 a bid now, 5,001 is bid. At 5-1, coming in for 5-2 under bidder, it's your turn. At 5,000, 5,100 for the first time. At 5,100 for the second time. Finished and done, £5,100 with the online bid at 5-1. We'll submit that bid, 16873. 16873. 5,100. Right then, got a couple of updates just to get through as well. Lot number 22, the Kawasaki ZXR 600R, sold away for £3,000. Lot number 48, James Cadet, sold away at £1,200. And then we move on down, we go to lot number 63. Lot number 63 is this 2002. It's the Zontes. Look at this one, it's the ZT125. Great looking bike there in the black and yellow livery as well. 22 in the year as well. Where are we up to? Start me off. He's got just £1,000 to start for this. Surely £1,000. 2022 bike. £1,000 to go. How about £500? Is anyone interested at 5? It's only done 3,200 miles. £500? Surely. Anyone interested to start me off at 5? Thank you online. You're in. We'll say 6 next. We'll go in hundreds on this one. At 500 is bid. At 500, 500, 500. At 500 a bid now. 500 is bid online. Would anyone like 6? Cheap little bike this at just 5. At 500, 500, 500. At 500 a bid now. 500 is the bid. At 500, 500, 500. 600, 600 it goes on. At £600, you're in. At 600 is the bid now at 6. At 600, 600, would anyone else like 700 on this one? At 600 bid. At 600, 600, 600. I'll take 50s if it helps anyone out. At 600 a bit. At 600, 600, 650, back in 650. At 650, 650, 650, would you like 7? At 650 to bid. At 650, 650, we're bid at the minute with you online at £650. Anyone else for 7? Last chance. Fair warning. Once, twice. Finished and done then at £650. Make no mistake, 650. We'll submit a bid. 9620's way. 9620. 650 provisional. Moving on to lot number 64 this time then. Another no reserves bike in the sale today. It's the 1982 Kawasaki Z440. Project spares or repairs, it says here. Where are you up to? Going to go 2, 3, 4, and 5 bid. At 500 a bid. Several commission bids online already. At 500 a bid now, 500 is bid. At 500, we're going 50s. At 550, anyone coming in for a little project? At 500 a bid. At 500, 500, 500. At 500 a bid now, 500 is bid. At 500, 500 we finished and done. Last chance in fair warning then at 5. Online bidder taken away. Make no mistake, finished and done. Last chance. Fair warning at £500, finished and done then at just £500 with the online bid, make no mistake. Sold, 500, 17980, 17980. Moving down we go to lot number 65 this time then, 1981. It's the Kavi SST 250 this time, another project bike again. Great little project bike, all the spares and all the repairs that come with it there. Loads of little bits on this one. Starting away, you're in, 100, 200, 300, we're start. At 300 a bid, I'll take 50s now. At 300, 300 is bid. At 300, 300 is the bid now at 3. At 300, 300, 300. 350. 400. Would you like to go 50 again? 450. 500. Shakes the head. What about a 25? At 500 is my bidder at the minute. At 500, 500, 500. At 500 a bid. 525, 550, 575, 600. Go 25, sir. 625, I'm out, you're in, thank you. At 625 bid in the room. At 625, 625. At 625, it must be sold. If anyone's coming in nice and quick, will you online? Got to be fair to the gentleman that's been in from the start. At £625, your bid, sir, at 625. Sold, 530, thank you. Moving on, we go to lot number 66, is the 1958. It's the BSA C12 project bike again. Requires some recommissioning in this one. Another lovely little project. Get winter ready. Get your winter projects in now. The weather's going to get bad. You're going to have lots of time in your garage. And what a perfect project to start with than this one. Who's got £500 to start me off here? £500 for a winter project. Anyone interested at 5? Well, go 250. I won't go any lower on this one. Go 250 and we'll run in 50s. We'll see where it gets to. Anyone interested at £250, surely? 250 bid. Before you will, I've seen the wave up top. At 250, I'll take 3 if the online bidder wants to come back in. It's not with you online, let's be clear. At 250, 300 online bids in. At 300, 350 back in up top. At 350 to bid. Gentleman's bid now at 350. At 350, 350, 350. At 350 online, would you like to go 4? At 350, 350, 350, are we finished and done here then? At £350, gentleman's bid at the top. 400 back in. Online bid. At 4. At 400, 400, 400. Would you like another 50, sir? At 400 a bid. At 400, 400 bid now at 4. At 400, 400, are we finished and done here at 4? Last chance, the bid is online. Coulter. 425, making me work today. I'll take it as soon as you've bid a lot today, sir. At 425, your bid with you. At 425. At 425, 450, they're back in. At 450, 450, 450. Would you like 75? At 450 is bid. At 450, 450, online bid now at 450. Are we finished and done then? At £450, we will submit this bid at just £450, so make no mistake. We go once, we go twice, we're finished, we're done. Online bid at £450. At £450, I'll tell you what, I'll take another 25, but we're on sale at just £450. At 450, 450, 475. At 475, we're going to sell it today, so make no mistake now. At 475. At 475, 475. At 475, 475. Would you like to go 5 one more? 500's in. At 500, your bid. At 500, 25's next. At 500 a bid. Make it nice and quick now online, if you will. We're only in £25 increments. I'm going to sell 525. Back in now, 525. At 525 is bid. At 525, 525, finished and done. Last chance, fair warning, 550, 550, 550. Would you go 75 now, underbidder? It's all online here. At 550's bid. At 550, 550. At 550 to bid, then 550, hammers up. At 550, finished and done. The online bid is with you now at 550, once, twice, finished and done. And we're going to sell now at 550, finished and done. Sold 550, 7094, 7094, £550 sold away. Moving down we go to, I'll do this quick little update. I've just been passed over. Lot number 44, the BMW K1 1600 GTSE. Sold away at £11,500. There we go. Lot number 67, 1956. It's the BSA C12 restoration project again. Another restoration project, another lovely bike. Where are we up to on this one? Start me off, he's got £1,000 for this one. Go 500 again to kick it off then, surely. £500, project bike. BSA C12. What about £300? Thank you. Three's bid. At 300 a bid. At 300, 300, 300. We'll say 4 next if we can. At 300's bid. At 300 a bid now. 300 is the bid. At 300, 300. We'll go 50 then if it's nice and quick. At 300 a bid. Shouldn't need to think about this one online or in the room. Gentleman's bid here. At 350 bid. At 354. Back in, thank you. At 400 a bid. At 400, 450 up top. At 450's bid. It's against you now, sir, at 450. 500, 500, before you will. At 500, we're down here at 500 a bid. At 500, either online or up top. Would you like to come in for one more? At 500, 500, are we finished and done here? I'll take 25 if anyone's nice and quick. 525, back in, 525. We're on sale, mine, sir. If that helps, 525. At 525, 525. It sells up top then at £525. We're going to sell, so make no mistake. Finished and done then once. 550. 550 online. At £550. Are we finished? 575, thank you. 575 coming back in. You almost had a brace online then. At 575. Would you like 6? At 575, 575. Gentleman's bid up top. Make no mistake. At £575 once. At 575 twice. Finished and done. We sell then at £575. Gentleman's bid up top. sold. £575, sold away. What was your bidder number there? 723. Thank you very much, sir. 723 takes that one. Moving on to lot number 68, we got another one of our Harleys in today's sale. It's the 2007 Harley Davidson. It's the FLS TSC Springer Classic there. I believe we have a telephone bidder, and Nick's coming down and in. Going to start off the bidding with me at £5,500, £6,000. We start at 6,000's bid. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. I'll take fives from this point if we can. At 6,000 is the bid. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. At £6,000 the bid now at 6. At 6,000, 6,000. Would anyone like to come in for 6,500? At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. At 6,000, I'll go 250 if it helps. At £6,000 is bid. At 6,000, 6,000, are we finished and done here at just 6? At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, last chance in fair warning then. At £6,000. I'm going to take their bid just here. Would you like to go one more 6,500? 6,500 up top. At 6,500. At 6,000, 6,500, are we finished and done? At 6,500. Online, would you like to go one more? There's 2 of you still in. At 6,500. At 6,000, 6,500, are we finished and done then? At 6,750. 6,750 now against you. At 6,750 is bid. At 6,750, would you like 7? 7's bid, thank you again, sir. At 7,000, 7,000, we're back in. At 7,000, 7,000 is bid. One more 250 online if you're coming back in. At 7,000, 7,000, are you coming in on the phone? Shakes the head. At 7,000, 7,000 on the other phone. At 7,000, 7,000, 7,000. Finished and done. Last chance. We will submit the bid then at just £7,000. Submitting a bid with you up top at 7,250. I'll take it. We're not there yet. At 7,250, 7,250. At 7,250 is bid. At 7,250 it goes on the Harley. Coming back in for another one. At 7,250 bid. At 7,250 the bid now. 7,250 bid. It's online here. At 7,250, 7,500 back in. Thank you again. At 7,500. At 7,500, 7,500, 7,500. Online, would you like to go one more? At 7,500 is the bid. At 7,500, we're bid, we're finished, we're done. Last chance, fair warning then. Once, twice, finished and done. Your bid, sir, £7,500. £7,500 provisional. Do we have a paddle number there? I'll just put that down, telephone. Right, we go down to lot number 69. Lot number 69 is this 1973 Honda CB125 there in the gold and white livery as well. Lovely paint job on this one. Looks a great looking bike to me. Where are you up to online? You're in there. I'm in at 11, 12, 14. You're in 16, 18, 2,000. We start online. At 2,000 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. At £2,000 is bid. 2,2 already. At 2,002, you're out in Ireland. At 2002, at 2002, welcome in California. It's with you at £2,200 is your bid in the States. At 2000, 2002. At 2004, 24 on the other telephone. At 24, 24, 24. 26 is online. At 2006, with our US bidder. At 2,600 is bid. At 2006, I'll take 27 if it helps anyone on the phones. At 2,000, 27, would you go 28 up top? 28's bid. It's up top. 28 on the phone. 29. At 2,000, 3's bid online. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. 3-1. At 3-1, 3-1 online in the States. Would you like 2? Yes, you do. 3-2. States bidders in. At 3,002. 3-3. At 3,003. 3-4 back in now, 3-4. At 3,004. 3-5. 3-5's bid. At 3-5 is still in about 3 places, I think, at 3,005. America, would you like to go again? At 3,005. 3-6 jumping in. At 3,006. California bidder, you're in at £3,600. At 3,006. One of the telephones is out, you'll be pleased to know. At 3,006. 3-7. 3-7. The other telephone's out. We've got one telephone in online. 3-8's bid online. At 3,008. At 3,800 a bid. At 3,800, shaking the head. You've done it in the States. At £3,800, are we finished or are we done? It's your last. We're not. New bidder, 3,900. Stealing it away in Ireland. It's with you now at 3,009. At 4,000's back in, thank you. At 4,000, 4,000, the bidding's online. At £4,000. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Would you like to go one more one? At 4,000, 4,000, 4,001. At 4,100, it's going to sell. 4-2 back in. Nice fast bidding now. At 4,200, we're bid. At 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. Would you like to go one more online? At 4,002, make it nice and quick if you do. The hammer's up and away it goes. We've got to be fair to the bidder in the United States. At 4,200, once, twice, finished, done. Selling at £4,200. Sold with you in California, £4,200 to bidder number 17915. Moving on to lot number 70 is the 1951 Dot Scrambler, and over to Mr. Stephen Berry.
Once upon a time, Tom, the world wasn't completely obsessed with football. There were other sports, including the sport of scrambling, at which a lot of British riders were very successful, and a lot of British marks were also very successful. One of the principal marks were Dot. You might not have heard of them. DOT, devoid of trouble. Their factory was in Manchester at the bottom of Deansgate. It's languished, unused and unloved for many years, but I've just noticed that a lot of scaffolding's gone up around the Dot factory, because I only live about a mile away from the old Dot factory where this one was built back in 1951. It's got the Villiers 2-stroke 98cc engine. It's got all the competition stuff on it. It's been restored to a ridiculously high standard of finish. You won't find another one like this. And it does seem odd to me that a bike so shiny should be designed for use in the mud and the dirt. If you buy this one, I'll tell you one thing, you better like polishing. But I bet there are plenty of other people out there who do. Let's see how much. This lovely Dot, proudly made in Manchester. We've got the original letter from the factory from when the bike was new, as well as all sorts of other documentation and a picture of the original owner competing on it back in period. It's all there, but how much will it sell for, Tom?
Well, the local collector's dream's about to go under the hammer. We're going to start away now. I'm going to go in at 2,024. At 2,400, we start on the little Dot this time now at £2,400. At 242424. At 2,400 is the bid. At 242424. At 2,004, would anyone like 26 on this one here? 26 is online. Thank you for coming in. At 2,006, you're in. At 2,000, 2006. At 2,600, would you like to go to anywhere else? At 2,006 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,600, we're bid now at 2,006. At 26 bid. At 2,000, 2,600 is the bid now at 2,006. At 2,600 is the bid now 2,006. Would you like to go again online? At 2,006. At 2,000, 2,600, finished and done then. At just £2,600 on the little Dot this time it goes. At 26 bid. At 2,600 once. At 2,600 a bid then twice. Last chance in fair warning then at £2,600. We're going to submit the bid to the vendor at £2,600. Finished and done to 6. 739's way, thank you. 739. Right, then we move on to lot number 71 then. 2002 Royal Enfield Bullet then. The Bullet, low mileage on this one as well, only 14,500 odd miles on it. Where are we going to go? Start me off. Who's got £1,000 for this? Royal Enfield, 2002. Low mileage modern classic. Who's got £500 to start me off then? For a bad start, £500. Anyone want to jump in at 5? Kick it off, get it going at £500. Go 5 bid, thank you, online. At 500, you're in, thank you. At 500 is the bid now at 5. At 500, 500 a bid now, 500 is bid. At 500, 500, we'll go 6 next if we can. At 500 a bid. At 500, 500, 500 is bid. I tell you what, I'll take 50 if it helps. At 500 a bid. Would anyone like to come in for 50? At 500, 500 is the bid online. At 500, 500 bid. At 500, 500, I'll take 50 from anyone else. At £500, we'll be finished and done. It's your last chance in fair warning. And then at £500, we go once, bargain of the day, go twice, finished and done at £500. We'll submit that bid 739's way, £500. Moving on, we go to lot number 72. Then lot number 72, it's the first one of these today. It's the 2018, it's the Osset. It's the 16 kilowatt electric child bike. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. What a bit of fun, or what a great Christmas present that could make for someone. I know it's a little bit early to mention that, so we'll stay away from that. Who's got a £500 electric bikes? £500 to start. Who's got £100 for it then? £100 for a bit of fun. Someone has. 100, you're in. Let's go in 50s on this lot. Let's go in 25s, actually. 100's bid. We'll take 125 next. At 100, 100 bid. At 100 a bid, now 100, 125. At 125 bid. At 125, 125 for a little bit of fun here. At just 125 is the bid. At 125, 125, 150 centre before you online. At 150 to bid. At 150, 150, 150. At 150, all the torque with that electric battery. I bet this thing flies. At just 150, 175. At 175, 175. At 175, the online bid at 175. Would anyone else like £200 on this one? At 175 and 2, it goes on. At 2, you do. At 2, 2, 2. At £200 is your bid online now at 2. At 200, I'll take 25 again. 225, it goes. At 225. At 225, 225. At 225, the bid now, 225 is bid. At 225, 250, 250, 250, back in. At £250, the bid now, 250's bid with you, 275. 275, 275. At 275, 275 bid. Would you like 3? You've come this far. 3 bid. Back in. 300's bid. On the list, what's it? At 300 a bid. Underbidder, would you like to go 25? 325 they do. At 325, 325. At 325 is the bid now, 325. Would you like to go again? At 325 then once. At 325 and 350 bid. At 350, 350, 350. At 350 the bid now, 350 is bid. Would you like to go one more? At 350, 350, 375. At 375, 375, 375 bid. With you online at £375, your bid now, 375 and 4. At 400, 400, 400, your bid at 4. At 400, one more 25. At 400, 400's the bid here. At 400 for the first time. 425. It goes on. At 425. At 425, 425. At £425, the bid now, 425 is bid, 450, 450, back in. At 450, 450, 450. At 450, 475. At 475 online. Would you like 5? Last chance. 500 bid. Take 50 next if we can. At 500 a bid. At 500, 500 underbid. Are you coming back in for one more 50? Or we sell. At 500 a bid now, 500 once. 550 bid. At 550, 550, 550. At 550 to bid now, 550 is bid. Would you like 6? At 550 to bid then once. 6 bid. 600 to bid now, 600's bid. At 600, 600, I'll take 50. At 600, 600 once. At 600, 600, 600 twice. Finish done, sells away. The Osset this time at £600. Sold. 601, 1995. Just give me 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Just got a late commission bid coming in. Right then, we go down to the next one. And look at that, we got a little Osset again. Slightly smaller one, I believe, this time. 12.5 kilowatts. Start me off on this one. Who's got £200? Let's not go so far back this time. £200 to start. Anyone interested? Want to jump it off? £200, two's bid. Thank you online. You're in. At 200 a bid. At 200, 200 bid. At 200 a bid, now 200. We'll go 25s again then at £200. At 200 is a bid with you online. Would anyone like 225? 225 bid. At 225. At 225, 225. At 225, 250. At 250, 250 bid. At £250 the bid online. At £250 with you here. At 250, 250, 275. At 275, 275. At 275 the bid now. 275 on the little kids. Osset now. 275 and 3. At 300, 300, 300. At 300 is the bid here. At 300 with you online now. At 300, 325. At 325, 325. At 325, 325. At 325, 350 if you're coming back in. At 325 the bid then once. At 350 bid. At 350, 350, 350. At 350 the bid now. 350. Would you like to go again? 375. Now's your chance if you do. At 350 the bid then once. At 350 the bid then twice. Hammers up. And away it sells at £350. Make no mistake, 350. Sold 350, thank you. 352, paddle number 11995. Moving on to lot number 74, 2015 on the year there, and it's the Ducati 1299. Pianigal, it's the S Road Superbike this time then. Where are we up to? You're in there at 3, 3.5, 4. I'm going to go 4.5 and £5,000 with my commission bidder. I'll take 5 next if we can. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. Lovely looking Ducati there. At 5,000, 5,000. At 5,000 a bid. 5. 5 bid. At 5,005. At 5,500 a bid now. 5,005 is bid. At 5,000, 5,005. At 5,500 a bid now. 5. I'm going to go 5,750 with me, and I'll take 6,000 next. 6,000's bid back in. At 6,000, 6,000 on Nick's telephone now. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. Would anyone like a 250 from here? I'm out. It's on Nick's telephone at the minute. At £6,000 is the bid. 6 250s online now. At 6,250 to bid. Welcome in Northamptonshire. 6.5 back in. At 6,005. At 6,005. We're on the telephone this time. Online. Would you like to go again? At 6,500 telephone bidder. At 6,000, 6,005. Are we finishing done at just £6,500? I'm going to give you that countdown. Another 250 if you're coming in, but the hammer's up. 6,750. 7 bid, back in. Telephone bidders in. At 7,000, 7,000. I'm looking to you now online. Would you like to go again? At 7,000, 7,000. Or anyone else coming in for another 250. At 7,000, 7,000 a bid then once. At 7,000 a bid then twice. 250. 7 250's bid. Straight back in. Thank you very much on the telephone. You're in at 7,005. It's your turn now online. At 7.5. At 7,005. At 7,500 is the bid now at 7,005. Are we finished? Are we done here at just 7,500? Right-handed with Nick's telephone bidder now. At 7,500 the bid then once. Twice. Finishing done at £7,500 with you provisionally, Nick, at 7,500. 2007. We'll make that call. Moving on. Down we go. Lot number 75, 2002 is the Honda CR250R. There we go. It's measured in hours, this one, and it's only done about 10 hours riding, I believe. Where are we up to? There we go. Start me off on this one. Lovely little bike. 2002 in the year. Who's got £4,000 to start here? £4,000. 2002 Honda. 10 hours driving time. Minimal. Anyone want to start it off at Thor? I'm going to go in with my commission bid. I'm going to go 2, 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 6 then. At 2006, very low bid here at 2006. At 2,600 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,600's bid, 2,800. And 3,000 back in. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At £3,000 a bid, now 3. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. 3-2 bid. At 3,002. At 3,002, 3-4. At 3,004's bid again, 3-4. At 3,000, 3,400 a bid, now at 3,004. We finished and done 3-4, 3-6. At 3,600, your bid. At 3,000, 3,600 is the bid now at 3,006 is with you online at the minute. At 3,000, 3,006. At 3,000, 3,008. At 3,800, I'll take 4 next if you're coming back in. At 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800, would you like to go for 4's bid? At 4,000, 4,000 a bid. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, online bid with you at 4. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Would anyone like 2? At 4,000, 4,000 here. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000 with you online, 4-2, it goes on. At 4,002, they're back in now. At £4,200 is the bid now at 4-2. At 4,000, 4,002, underbidder, would you like to go 4-4? At 4,002. At 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. 4-4 back in. At 4,400 is the bid now at 4,004. At 4-4, 4-4, 4-4. At 4,400, would you like to go 4-6 underbidder? It's your turn if you're going again. At 4,004. At 4,400 once, 4-6 bid. At 4,600 is the bid now at 4,006. At 4,000, 4,600 bid. At 4,000, 4,006, would you like to go 4-8? At 4,600, we're bid now at 4,006, finished and done then at 4,008. At 4,000, 4,800's bid. At 4,000, 4,008. At 4,800 a bid now, 4,008 is here online. Would you like to go 5-5? They do. You're back in now 5. At £5,000 a bid. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. At 5,000 is your bid online. Underbidder, would you like to go 5-2? 5-2, I heard the ding. At 5-2 in. At 5,002. At 5-2, 5-2, 5-2. At 5,200, I'll take 5-4 if you're coming back in, underbidder. At 5,002. At 5-2, 5-2, 5-2. At 5,200, finished and done then. Last chance in fair warning online. At 5,200, 5-4 back in. At 5,004. At 5,400 a bid now, 5,004 is the bid. At 5-4, 5-4, 5-4. Are we finished? Are we done? Last chance, fair warning, online bid with you then at 5,400 once, twice. Finished and done at £5,400. We'll make that call online, 11995, 11995. 5,400, provisional bid. Moving on we go to lot number 76 and 2016. It's the MV Augusta 800 RR. Look at that. That is a beautiful, beautiful looking bike as well. Love the look of this bike. It looks great indeed. It's an evil looking bike. It looks very mean. Start me off on this one with my commission bids. I'm going to go 3, 3.5, 4,000, 4,500, £5,000 we start. At 5,000 a bid. At 5,000, 5,000 bid. At 5,000, 5,000, I'll take 5 again if we can. At £5,000 is the bid now at 5. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. At £5,000 we are bid now at 5. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. At 5,000, I'll take 500 if anyone's coming in at the minute. At £5,000, the bid. At 5,000, 5,000, 5. My commission bidder's out and you're in online. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000 is the bid. Would anyone else? 5-5's bid. At 5,005, would anyone else like 6? I'll take 250, one more. Coming back in for a small bite underbidder. At 5,005. At 5,000, 5,500, are we finished and done here at 5,005? 5,750, we're not. At 5,750 is bid. At 5,750 bid. At 5,750 to bid now, 5,750. £6,000 bid. In the West Midlands is your bid at £6,000. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. I tell you what, we'll go 6-1. If either of the underbidders want to come back in, would you like to go again for 6-1? It's with you in the West Midlands at £6,000. Would anyone else like 6,001? Are we finished? Are we done then? At £6,000 is your last chance, and fair warning then at £6,000. Make no mistake, finished and done 6,000. Very close online. We'll make that call for you. 12240. 12240. And that is £6,000 provisionally. Moving on to lot number 77. Lot number 77 is 1973. It's the Honda CB750 this time here. K2, lovely example of a bike. Looks great as well. You're in there straight away at 2,800 is bid. Online bid at 2.8. At 2,800 we start. At 2.8 bid. In Ireland is with you at 2,008. At 2.8 the bid now 2,008 is bid. Would anyone like 3,000 on this one? Cheap little bike. 3 you do. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At 3,000 a bid now 3,000 is bid. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000 finished and done then at just 3. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At £3,000 the bid. At 3,000 is bid now at 3. Are we finished and done here at just £3,000? Make no mistake. Last chance. Fair warning. Finished and done then at just £3,000. 2. 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. At 3,000, 3,002. We will submit the bid. We are a little way off on this one. At 3,002. At 3,000, 3,200 is the bid now at 3,002 with you in Hampshire at 3,200 a bid. At 3,2, 3,2, 3,2. Are we finished? Are we done? Last chance in fair warning then with the Hampshire bidder now at £3,200. Finished and done 3,2. With you online 11412. We will make that call there, 3-2, and we move down to lot number 78 today, 1975 Yamaha DT400. This time the DT400 there. You're in straight away at 3. You're going to have to go 3-2, 3-4, 3-4, 3-6, 3-8 bid. At 3,008, with my commission bidder at the minute. At 3,000, 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800 is the bid now 4. At 4,000, going to have to go 4-2, 4-4. It's not with you in Lincolnshire. It's with me at 4,004. At 4,400, 4,6. My commission bidder is out now. It's with you online at 4,006. At 4,600 is the bid now at 4,006. At 4,6, 4,6, 4,6 bid. At 4,600, would anyone else like 4,8 now? At 4,600, we are bid. At 4,6 bid. At 4,600 a bid now, 4,006 is bid. Would anyone else like to come in? It's your last chance in fair warning then. The bid is online with you in Lincolnshire at £4,600 once. 4,600. 4,8. 4,8 bid on the telephone. At 4,008. You nearly got it online. The telephone sneaked in, screaming away at 4,008. Would you like 5? At 4,800 were bid. At 4,8 the bid now, 4,008. I'll tell you what, I'll do you the favour online. Would you like to go 4,9? If not, it's right-handed on Tim's telephone at 4,800 once. Twice. 4,800. Your bidder, Tim. 4,8. We'll make the call, okay? £4,800. 2005, provisional bid there. Lot number 79 this time, 1971 Honda CB500. Look at that one there. We'll take it. You're in at 2,000. I'm in at 2,2, 2,4, 2,6. At 2,006. At 2,600 is bid now at 2,006, 2,8, 3,000 back to me. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,2, 3,4. At 3,4 bid. At 3,000, 3,400 is a bid now at 3,400 here, now at 3,004. One more online, 3,6, you're in. At 3,600, I'm out. Lincolnshire bidder, you're in at 3,6. At 3,600 is the bid now at 3,006. Would anyone like 3,8? At 3,600 is the bid now at 3,006. 3,8, thank you there. At 3,008 up top. 4,000 back in. At 4,000, 4,000 bid. At 4,000 a bid now, 4,000 is bid now 4. Online bidder at 4. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Either of the underbidders, are you coming back for one more? I'll tell you what, we'll go in hundreds from this point. If you're nice and quick online, we're at £4,000. At 4,000, 4,000, would you like to go 1? 4,1 you do, new bidders in. At 4,001, the Grimsby bidder's back. At 4,001. At 4,1 bid. At 4,100 bid. I'll take 4,2 if you're thinking about it now. 4,2 you do. 4,2's back in now, 4,2. Buckinghamshire now, new bidder at 4,002. At 4,2, 4,2, 4,2. Would you like to go 4,3 underbidder? At 4,002, it seems like it's all online now. At 4,200 a bid now, 4,002 is bid. At 4,200 then once. At 4,200 then twice. Finishing done, online bid has it at £4,200. We'll submit the bid at 17950, 17950. Thank you very much, 4,200 provisional. And lot number 80, 1988 Suzuki, and I'm going to go over to Steve.
It's a rare beast, this one, Tom. The 1988 Suzuki GSX-R 750J Slingshot. We're in the era of the acronym, so it's got SAC, Suzuki Advanced Cooling System, and it's a slingshot, and I've just found out what that actually means. It refers to these Mikuni carburetors, which were apparently a halfway house between a flat slide and the regular carburetors you'd find on most road bikes. Despite that, Suzuki proudly said that it was hypersports and there weren't many 750cc bikes or indeed litre bikes that could keep up with this beastie. The lads loved them and bought them in their thousands. However, they were bashed, they were smashed, they were crashed. How many are left like this? Almost entirely original. Yes, it's wearing a period Remus exhaust end can, but if it had the real one on, it adds about £20 to the weight. Huge great affair on the back here. Apparently these are original plastics, original fairing, original in fantastic condition with just 26,000 kilometres in the thick end of 40 years. How many are left like this? Very few, I would imagine. You today have got the opportunity, right now in fact, to acquire this one.
And we're straight in and away with my commission bidders at the minute. There's been a couple of bids on this one. A few people must like it. Going to go in 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, 3, 8. We start with me now at 3,008. At 3,800 is the bid now at 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800 is bid. At 3,000, 3,008. 4,000's online. At 4,000 a bid now, 4,000 bid. Online bid at 4. At 4,000, 4,2. At 4,2, 4,2, 4,2. At 4,200, would you like to go 4,4? At 4,002 is the bid now at 4,002. At 4,2, 4,2, 4,2. At 4,200, would you like to go 4,4 online? At 4,002. At 4,200 is bid. At 4,2, 4,2, 4,4 is back in. At 4,004. At 4,400 bid. With you online at the minute. At 4,004. At 4,400 a bid now, 4,004 is bid. At 4,000, 4,004. Would anyone else like 4,6? At 4,004. At 4,000, 4,400 is bid now, 4,004. Online bid here at 4,004. I'll take 4,6 if anyone else is thinking about it now, or we'll submit the bid to the vendor then at 4,004. Once. At 4,004. Twice. Finished and done then at just £4,400. We'll make that call for you online. We are a little way off there. It's paddle number 1056. Takes that one, 1056. Moving on down, we go to lot number 81 this time then. Lot number 81, there we go, the 1972 Suzuki GT550. Stunning example as well. Love the colouring on this one. The black and gold looks really smart and presentable. We're going to start the bidding off at 2,000, 2,2, 2,4. At 2,004 we go. At 2,4, 2,4, 2,4. At 2,400, 2,6, 2,8 back to me. At 2,008. At 2,800 a bid now, 2,008, 3,000, 3,2's bid. At 3,002. At 3,002, one more might do it online. At 3,002. At 3,200 is bid now, 3,002 is bid. At 3,000, 3,002. At 3,200 a bid now, 3,4. My bidder's out and you're in. At 3,004 is with you. At 3,004, I'm out, you're in online. At 3,400 a bid now, 3,004 is bid. At 3,004. At 3,000, 3,400, would anyone else like 3,006? At 3,400 is bid. At 3,4, 3,4, 3,4. We finished and done here at just £3,400. Make no mistake. At 3,4, 3,4, 3,4. At 3,400, finishing done then. Online bid with you in Lincolnshire. 3,6, sneaking in. At 3,600, Suffolk bidder, you're back in the lead. At 3,006. At 3,000, 3,600 a bit now, 3,006. Lincolnshire, would you like to go 3,8? At 3,006. At 3,000, 3,600 is the bid now at 3,006. Are we finished? Are we done? Last chance. Fair warning then, at £3,600. The bid is online at £3,600. Make no mistake, finished and done. Go once, go twice. Last chance at £3,600. 3-8. It goes on at 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800. Would you like to go 4? At 3,000, 3,800 is the bid at the minute. 4 they do. Thank you again online. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Both bidders in Lincolnshire, I believe. At 4,000 a bid. At 4,000, 4,000. Would you like to go 2 again? At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance in fair warning then. We're with the bidder now online here at £4,000 once. At £4,000 twice. 4-2. 4-2. Suffolk's back in now at 4,200 a bid. At 4,002. At 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. I'll tell you what, let's go 4-3. Not many lots left. If you need a ride home, now's your chance to bid. At 4,003. At 4,300 a bid. Now 4,003 is bid. At 4,000, 4,003. Would you like to go again online at 4,003? At 4,003. You're thinking about it. One more online at 4,300. Hammers up at 4,300 for 4. At 4,004. At 4,400 bid. At 4,000, 4,004. Would you like to go for 5? At 4,400 a bid now 4,004. At 4,4, 4,4, 4,4. Are we finished? Are we done then? We'll give you that countdown again online. At 4,400 once. At 4,400 twice. Finishing done then online has it at £4,400. Provisionally with you at 4,004, 11487. 11487 takes that one there. Provisional bid at £4,400. Quite close on that one. We might get that over the line. Moving on down we go, lot number 82. 82 is the 2000 Harley Davidson. It's the Glide Ultra Classic Twin Cam as well. Look at that. Lovely Harley. It's got all the radio. I think this one's the one with the cassette player in it as well, I believe. There we go. 30,000 miles on a Harley as well. It's little mileage on this one. Where are we up to? You're in at 2. I'm in at 2-2, 2-4. 2-4 we start. At 2004 on the Harley here at 2004. At 2-4, 2-4, 2-4. At 2,400 is the bid at the minute at 2004. Are you coming in online? At 2004. At 2-4, 2-4, 2-4. At 2,400 is the bid now at 2004. Finishing done then on this one at £2,400. Last chance in fair warning then at £2,400. Commission bidder provisionally there at 2-6, I'll take it. It's not sold yet. At 2-6 bid. My commission bidder's out at 2006. At 2,000, 2,600 is the bid now at 2006. Welcoming Gwynedd. At 2,600 is with you in Wales. At 2,600 is the bid. At 2-6 bid. At 2,600 online here at 2006. Are we finished? Are we done? I'm going to submit the bid to the vendor then. At 2,600 once. Twice. Submitting the bid then at 2,600, 8,996, 8,996, £2,600. Moving on to lot number 83 this time then. Lot number 83 is the 1980 Yamaha RD400. Lovely Yamaha. Love it in the red and black as well. A few other people think so. Going to go straight in. Got 3 commission bids on this one. Going to start 2, 2-2, 2-4, 2-6, 2-8. 3,000 we start. I'll take 3-2 next. At 3,000 a bid. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At £3,000 we're bid with my commission bidder at the minute. 3-2, 3-4 back to me. At 3-4, 3-4, 3-4. At 3,400 would you like to go 3-6? One more might do it. At 3,004. At 3-4, 3-4, 3-4. At 3,000, my bidder here at 3,004. Online, would you like to go 3-6? It's your last chance in fair warning. I will submit the bid to the vendor at 3,004. I'll take 3-5 if the underbidder wants to come back in nice and quick. At 3,004. At 3,000, 3,400 once. At 3,000, 3,400 twice. Finished and done then. Commission bidder at £3,400. Was 3-5. 3-5, and my bidder's out. It's with you there. Local bidder as well at 3,005. At 3,500, Is anyone else coming in now at 3,005? At 3,500, 3,500, 3,500. At 3,500 a bit now, 3,005. Finished and done then. I'm going to give you that countdown online. At 3,500 once. At 3,500 twice. Finished and done then at £3,500. Local bidder there at 3,58903. We will get in touch. 8903. £3,500. Moving on to lot number 84, 1983 Honda GL 500. It's the DC Silver Wing this time. The Silver Wing. To be sold today with no reserve at all. And we're going to go 100, 150, 200 a bid. At 200 a bid now, 200 is bid online. At 222, at 200 is your bid in Ireland. At 200 a bid now, 200 bid. At 200, 200 bid now 2. At 200, let's go 50. If anyone wants to jump in, small little bites, 250 if you're coming in. At 200 bid. At 200, 200 bid now 2. It's going to go, so make no mistake, 250, new bidder there. Cumbria, you're in. At £250, your bid. At 250, 250, 250. At 250 to bid. What a stylish bike for just £250. But make no mistake, hammers up, and it's going to go at £250 a bid. At 250, 250, 250 once. At 250, 250 twice. Finished done. We're selling online. If you're hovering at home, bid now or forever hold your peace. And selling away at £250 it goes. 3. 3 bid. At 300 a bid now 3. At 300, 300 bid. At 300 a bit now 3. At 300, 300. 350 already online. I'll take 375. 375, okay. At 375. We're down to the nitty-gritty time now. At £375. £25 bids. At 375 up top. 375 and 4. At 400, 400 is the bid now at 4 in Cumbria. It's with you at 4. 425 back in up top. At 425, 425. At 425, the bid now 425. You coming back in online. At 425. 450 bid. At 450, 450. Would you like one more, sir? At 450 to bid. At 450, 450. 475, he says okay. At 475. At 475 and 5. At 500, 500 is the bid now at £500 a bid. At 500, 500 are we finished and done here at 500. The bid is online, we're going to sell. So make no mistake, if we're finished, we're done. We sell once, we sell twice. Hammers up, away it goes. This time at £500. Sold, £500. Two bidder number 17970. Moving on to lot number 85. Lot number 85, 1977. Honda this time there. It's the CB500, another no reserve bike. Let's get it gone, ladies and gentlemen. We're straight in now. 500, 600 a bid. At 600, you're in. At 600, 600, 600. At 600, welcoming County Londonderry. It's with you in Ireland, Northern Ireland, at £600 a bid. At 600, 600, 7. At 700 in Dublin this time. At 700 a bid now 7. At 700, 700 is your bid in Ireland now at 700 and 800 a bid. 3 bidders in Ireland. In Louth this time at 800 a bid now 8. At 800 a bid. 9. Thank you. 900 bid. At 900 is against all of you in Ireland now. Is here in the room in Manor Parks Classics venue today. At £900, would you like £1,000? 1,000 they do. At 1,000, 50? 1,050 bid. At 1,050 bid, thank you. At 1,050, 1,050. Would anyone else like 1,100? At 1,050 is the bid now at 1,050 on this lovely little Honda. It's gonna go once, twice, 11.50. Thank you. 11.50 bid. At 11.50, 11.50, 11.50. Gentleman's bid here in the room at 1,150 to bid. Then once, twice, 12. Every time the hammer goes up, sir. At 1,200. Would you like 50 again? 25. Making me work. You've been a good bidder. 12.25. Your bid. Thank you. At 12.25. At 12.25, 12.25. Do the same for you in Ireland. Make it nice and quick. At 12.25, once, twice, finished and done, we set. 12.50 bid. 12.75 back in. At 12.75, 12.75. At 12.75, the bid now, 12.75, 12.75. Are you coming back in online? Bids up here. 12.75, once, twice, finished and done. 13 bid. 13.25, yes? 13.25, thank you. At 13.25, the bid. At 13.25, 13.25. I'm just going to pick the hammer up. We're going to count it down. At 13.25, you shouldn't need to think about it. 13.50. 13.50. Middlesbrough bidder back in now at 13.50. Yes, 13.75. 13.75, he says. At 13.75, 13.75. At 13.75, are we finished and done this time? At 13.75, I'm going to sell once, twice, finished. 14 bid. 14 bid now, 14. At 1400. Yes? 14.25, thank you, sir. 14.25 back in. At 14.25, the bid. At 14.25, 14.25. Once, twice, finished and done. We sell up top at 14.25, then make no mistake. Sold with you, sir, at top, 14.25. And after 723, thank you. Moving on down we go, lot number 86, 1990 Kawasaki. It's the AR125, another no reserve bike, and you're in at 2. I'm going to go 3. I'll take 4 next. 300's my bid here. At 300 a bid now, 3. At 300, 300 bid. 4, 5, 6. I'm out. You're in, sir. Up top at 6. At 600, I'll take the 50s from this point if anyone wants to come in. It's going to sell today, so make no mistake. At 600 a bid. At 600, 600, 600. Finished and done then. I sell to the gentleman at the top again. It goes once, 50, 650, 75, 675. We like the 25s here. At 625 the bid. At 625, 625. At 625, 625. Coming back in. Sorry, 675. Would you like 7? Online, you're thinking about it. It's up top at £675. Once, twice. Finished and done then. We sell this time. It goes up top then. 7. 25. Back in. Make it a bit quicker online. You nearly missed out that time. At £725. Gentleman's bid here. At 725 then, the bid. Once, twice. Finished, done. Selling now. £725. Sold the same way. Is that same paddle? Yes, thank you. Moving on down we go to lot number 87, 1950s. It's our second dot in the sale as well. Have a good look at this one. It's the 197cc superb little running machine. This one looks lovely in the red this time. Let's get it up onto my screen there. Who's got £1,000 to start me off? Anyone? £1,000. Won't go any lower on this bike. £1,000 needs to be to start this one off today, surely. £1,000. Let's get the ball rolling here. Would anyone like to come in for a £1,000 bid on the little dot? Thousands bid. At 1,000 a bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. At £1,000 we're bid now. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. At £1,000 we got a bid on it. I will submit it. Would anyone else like to come in now at £1,000? Finished and done 1,000. We are a little way off online, but I'm going to submit the bid at £1,000 to 1096, £1,000. We will see what we can do for you, and we will get in touch. Getting a little update. We're getting towards the end of the sale today. So lot number 76, the MV Augusta, the 800RR, sold away at £6,000. So that one's been and gone now as well. And we go down to lot number 88 this time. Have a good look here. 1991 is the Honda's, the CBR 600F. I really like these bikes. It's been restored really well as well. Only 26,000 miles on the clock. And you're in straight away at £700 and £800. At 800 a bit. At 800 online bid with you at 800. Local to me in Somerset is with you at £800. At 800 a bit. At 800, 800, 800. Would anyone like 9? Make no mistake. I'll take 50. So we go 25s again. They seem to like the 25s today. We're at £800. We'll take the 25. 825 they do. He says okay in Lancashire. 825, 850. 850 back in. At 850 to bid now. 850, 850. At 850, 875. Dublin's joining now. At 875 it's with you. At 875, 875. At 875, 9. At 900 a bid. At 900 you're in now at 925 bid. At 925, 925. Would you like 950? Either one of the underbidders. I think there's 3 or 4 of you on this one. At £925. 925, 950. At 950, 950, 950. Back to Somerset. At £950 is with you. At 950 to bid. Are we finished and done here? At just 950, 975 back in 975. At 975, 975. At 975, 975. Would anyone like to top it up to £1,000? At 975. At 975, finished and done then. At £975, make no mistake, 1,000 bid. At 1,000, 1,000, Somerset's in. At 1,000 a bid. At 1,000 a bid, now 1,000's bid. Are we finished and done at just £1,000? It's your last chance in fair warning. If anyone wants to jump in, we're going to give you that countdown. We're going to go once. We're going to go twice. Finished, done, £1,000. Your bid online at £1,000. £1,000 in Somerset with you at the minute at 17,858. I think that was 17,858, was it? Yes, 858. We'll make that call for you in Somerset. We'll be in touch very shortly. Moving on, a couple of bikes left then. This one, lot number 89 this time. It's the 2000 Triumph Trophy. That is a great looking bike there. Little money as well. You're in at 750. I'm in at 800. At 800's with me. I'm going to have to go 850 with me, and I'll take 900 from the next bidder. At 850 bid. At 850, 850, 850, would you like 9? At 850, 9. 50 back in with me. One more online, it might do it. At 950 to bid. At 950, 950, 950. At 950 is my commission bidder. We have a bid on the book this time at 950 to bid. At 950, and I'm going to sell it at 950,000. It's got to be really, sir. Just to take my commission bidder out. 1,000 bid, thank you very much. £1,000 up top. At 1,000 a bid. At £1,000 a bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. It's gonna sell today, so make no mistake here. At £1,000 up top it goes. I'll take 50 if anyone's nice and quick. Then at 1,000, once, twice. Finished and done. We sell with you up top, sir. At £1,000. Sold your way. £1,000. 723's way. 723. £1,000. Thank you. Moving on to the last ride home today. Lot number 90. 2011 Norton Commander. It's not very often we finish with you, Steve, but
well, here we are. It's a rare machine, this one, the 961 Commando Cafe race. So this is from what they might call the Stuart Barker era. It's not new Norton, it's not old Norton, it's interim Norton. This is one of the bikes built at Donington Hall. It's got the frame built by the lads who were, of course, Spondon Engineering. They were employed by the company back then. It has top quality kit from the likes of Brembo and Öhlins. It's a very saucy looking bike with a characterful twin-cylinder parallel engine, 4-stroke, of course. However, let me tell you what it's not got. It's not got the clip-on handlebars. And last year, I rode one of these with the clip-on handlebars to Anglesey and back from my native Bury, Lancashire. By the time I got to Anglesey, I wanted to set it on fire because it was horribly uncomfortable. Whoever had this bike has kept everything off the cafe racer, all that lovely stuff and this fantastic carbon fibre, which seems to have aged very well despite the fact that the bike's nearly 15 years old. But what they've done is they've fitted the far more sensible, upright roadster handlebars. So you can have style and comfort with one of the most, in fact, I'll say it, the most legendary name in British motorcycling. Tom, it's a Norton.
Norton it is indeed, and the bidding's been going on already, and we're going straight away in online with you in Londonderry at £3,000. At 3,000, 3,250 bid. At 3,250, I'll take 3,500. At 3,250 to bid now, 3,250, 3,250. At 3,250 is bid now at 3,250. Would you like to come back in for one more? At 3,250 is the bid now at 3,250. At 3,250, 3,250. At 3,250, we finished and done then at 3,250, 3,500 we're not. At 3,005, at 3,000, 3,005 is your bid at the minute online. At 3,005, let's go. We'll go 3,600 and then we'll go 3,800 if we can. Take 3,600, take the £100 and then we'll go 3,800. At 3,006 you're in. At 3,006. At 3,600 is the bid now at 3,006. At 3,000, 3,600 we're bid. Would anyone like 3,800? At 3,600 a bid. Commando 961 Cafe Racer, last ride home today. Lovely Norton it is indeed, and what a bargain price at the minute. At 3,600 we are bid. Would anyone like 3,800? At 3,000, 3,600 is the bid now, 3,006. At 3,636, you're thinking about it online. At 3,800 you do, thank you again. At 3,800 a bid. Local money now in Merseyside, it's with you. At 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800 is bid. At 3,838 the bid now, 3,008. 4 bid. At 4,000, 4,000. Tell you what, it's the last lot of the day. Let's go in £100. 4-1 next. Who's coming in? At 4,000, 4-1 they do. At 4,100 a bit now, 4,001 is bid. Go 4-2 if you're coming back in. At 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. At 4,100, cheap little Norton still. At just 4,100 a bid. Lancashire bidder, you are in. 4-2, not anymore. At 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. At 4,200 were bid. At 4-2, 4-2, 4-2, 4-3. At 4,300 you're in online. At 4,003. At 4,300 is the bid now at 4,003. 4-3, 4-3, 4-3. Would you like to go again one more? At 4,003. 4-4. At 4,400 it goes on. 4-4, 4-5. At 4,500 a bid. At 4,000, 4,005. At 4,005, would you like to go one more online? At 4,500 is against you at the minute. At 4-5. Are we finished? 4-6. At 4,006 is the online bid now. At 4,000, 4,006. At 4,600 a bid now, 4,006. Would you like to go 4-7 under bidder? You've come this far. At 4,006. At 4,000, 4,600 were bid. At 4-6 the bid now, 4,006. Finished and done then at just £4,600. Make no mistake, 4-7. 4-7, Merseyside's back in. At 4,007. At 4,700, the bid is yours. At 4,700 a bid. At 4-7, 4-7, 4-7. At 4,007, I'll take 4-8 if you're nice and quick online. 4-8 back in now, 4,008. At 4,000, 4,008, Lancashire bidder again is back in now at 4,008. I think it's a new bidder in Lancashire, to be honest. At 4,008. At 4,000, 4,800. You coming in for one more online? It's at 4,008. Would you like to go 9? At 4,800 a bid. Are we finished? Are we done? Last chance. 4-9, didn't think so. 4-9 bid. At 4,009. At 4,9 the bid now, 4,009. At 4,900 a bid now, 4,009 is the bid. Are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance. And fair warning then at 5,000 back in now, 5. At 5,000 a bid. At 5,000, 5,000, I'll take 1 if you're coming back in now. At £5,000, we are bidding away. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. At £5,000 a bid, then once. 5-1. At 5-1 the bid. At 5,000, 5,100 a bid. Last lot of the day today at 5,001. At 5,000, 5,100 a bid. Now 5,001. Once. 5-2. 5-2 to bid. At 5,002. Might have a telephone bid coming in. At 5,002. At 5,000, 5,200 a bid. Once online. 3. At 5,003. With you in Merseyside at 5,300. Are you finished and done? Let's not hang around any longer. At 5,300 for the first time. At 5-4 bid. At 5,004. At 5-4, 5-4, 5-4. At 5-4 then once it goes at £5,400 a bid now 5,004. At 5-5 back in now. Keep it going online. Let's get that momentum going now. 5-6 one more. At 5,005. Once then at 5-5. And twice now. Hammers up and away it goes. Make no mistake. 5,006 your bid. At 5,600 a bid now 5,006. At 5,000, 5,600 is the bid now at 5,006. The Norton Commando here. 5-7, thank you online. At 5,700 is the bid now at 5,007. At 5-7 the bid now 5,007 is the bid. At 5,000, 5,700 are you finished and done then underbidder? At 5,700 do not miss out now. At 5,700 the bid then once. Twice. 5-8. Back in now at 5,008. At 5,008. And it's going to sell then at 5-8. At 5,800 a bid. Last ride home then at 5,800. Make no mistake if we're finished and done. Last chance and fair warning then. At 5,9. At 5,9 the bid. At 5,009. at 595959. Would you like 6,000? It's your last chance in fair warning. Hammers up. Away it goes this time at 5,900. Once, twice. Hammer time then at £6,000. At 6 the bid. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. At 6 the bid, now 6,000 is bid. Are you coming back in for one more? At 6 the bid, now 6. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. Finished and done, then we go once online. We go twice and 6-1 back in, now 6-1. At 6,100 a bid, now 6,001. Would you like to go 6-2? At 6,100 a bid, now 6,001. Once. Twice. 6-2. 6-2 back in. Thinking about it online. You just wait for the hammer to go up, don't you? At 6,200 a bid. At 6-2 bid. At 6,000, 6,200 once, then twice. 6-3 back in, now 6-3. At 6,300 a bid, now 6,003 is your bid. At 6-3, 6-3, 6-3, are you finished? Are you done? Hammer's up. I'm going to sell this time. Oh, I'm not. 6-4. 6,004. At 6,000, 6,400 a bid, now 6,004 is bid. Finished and done, then we go. At 6,000, 6,500. At 6,500, 6,500, 6,500. At 6,500, going to leave the gavel up this time. At 6,500, once, twice. Finished and done, I'm going to sell with you online. At 6,500, Merseyside's way. Hammers up. Finished, done. 6-6. 6,600 a bid. At 6,000, 6,006. At 6,000, 6,600 a bid. At 6,600, once, twice, finished and done. Last chance, fair warning, 6-7, 6-8, will you? Coming back in, then we go. Once, twice, finished and done. I'm going to sell now. At 6,700, are you sure online? If you're coming in, it's now or never. At 6,700, the bid. Sold, £6,700 to bidder number 9682, 9682. Thank you very much, online bidder, 6,700. A great little battle there on the last lot of the day. It is the last lot of the day, though. We go all again tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We've got lots of cars as you look around this room. All the colour, all the nostalgia. It looks absolutely beautiful in this room. Thank you very much for tuning in on YouTube. Follow us on social media. We're on all of the platforms there. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, wherever you want. Baron's got a sale next week, so if you've got some more bikes you're interested in, there's probably a couple of bikes in the Baron sale. The next bike auction here will be the 16th of October. Thank you very much to all you bidders, all you people that joined in online. We go again tomorrow, so good night for now. Have a great sleep.